Chapter 436. The monster that Huang Jing was fighting was the hedgehog beast. Its body was covered with spikes like a hedgehog, and it barked like a dog. The name Hedgehog Ridge came from the existence of this monster. At this moment, the hedgehog beast was furious because the mine of life had been stolen. It howled, no longer caring about fighting Huang Jing, and turned to run back to its nest. Huang Jing's expression changed slightly. Celestiality intertwined around his body, like a curtain, and forcefully pulled the hedgehog beast back. "Retreat!" Huang Jing growled. His voice traveled very far. This was a hint for Fang Ping. The hedgehog beast was also a middle-stage rank 7, and its strength was similar to his. At this moment, the hedgehog beast was extremely angry. Huang Jing was not sure if he could stop it. If the hedgehog beast returned, Fang Ping would be in danger. This was not what Huang Jing was worried about. The hedgehog beast's howl seemed to be calling for help. 100 Beasts Forest was more than 200 li away. Logically, the hedgehog beast's howl should not have been able to reach there. More than 200 li was not a short distance, and a rank 7 monster could not do that. Even if both sides fought, and the energy fluctuations were intense, powerhouses could only sense it from 20 to 30 li away. The battle between two rank 7s was not too strong. Only a rank 9 powerhouse could sense the energy changes from a distance. Even though he thought so, Huang Jing still did not dare to be careless. There were still some middle-rank monsters in Hedgehog Ridge. This rank 7 monster should be the king of Hedgehog Ridge. Even if he could not summon reinforcements from 100 Beast Forest, the number of middle-rank monsters in Hedgehog Ridge would still cause him some trouble. This monster is not easy to kill. Killing a monster of the same rank was extremely difficult. The human grandmasters were actually not weak. These people had fought in many battles throughout their lives, so they were not afraid of demonic beasts of the same level. Huang Jing was confident that he could defeat the other party. The key was that defeating and killing were two different concepts. Did that kid Fang Ping run away? Huang Jing thought about this as he struggled to deal with the hedgehog beast. Huang Jing, who originally wanted to delay for a while, suddenly had a change of expression. He cursed, "Nothing good really happened. I'm dead because of you." At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly poked his head out from the underground tunnel and shouted, "I'm not done digging. Dig my ass. Run!" Huang Jing yelled. After he finished yelling, he added, "Don't show your face, run." Fang Ping was a little confused. Huang Jing did not seem to be at a disadvantage. The monster did not seem to be a match for him. At this moment, he was holding it back tightly. A rank 8 monster is coming. No! Huang Jing's expression changed again and again. This time his face was really pale. He said in terror, 2 rank 8s and 1 rank 7s. "Run, you idiot!" He was about to die of anger because of Fang Ping and Qin Fengqing. Damn, didn't they say there would only be one demonic beast? Didn't you say it wouldn't be a big problem? Down below, Fang Ping's expression changed drastically. At this moment, from the depths of the Hedgehog Ridge, a pressure rose into the air, and a golden light flew toward them from dozens of li away. It wasn't a monster from the 100 Beast Forest. There was actually an 8th-grade monster in the Hedgehog Ridge. Fang Ping was about to vomit blood. That bastard Qin Fengqing, didn't he say that there were no high-rank monsters in Hedgehog Ridge? Even if there was, it would at most be a demonic beast guarding the mine. Not only Qin Fengqing, but the humans' records of Hedgehog Ridge were the same. High ranks were nowhere to be seen, but there were a few rank AXS. But now that the rank 7 guarding the mine had come out, there was actually a rank 8 monster in the depths. Not only that, Huang Jing said there was more than one. There was also a rank 8 and a rank 7 rushing over. Fang Ping didn't sense it, but he believed that Huang Jing wouldn't lie. "Vice-Chancellor, you run too," Fang Ping roared. Then, without another word, he burrowed into the ground and ran. What was the point of digging the remaining low-rank doors? He should run first. If he didn't leave, Huang Jing would find it hard to leave too. If he left, Huang Jing would have a chance to escape. Just as Fang Ping burrowed into the ground and left, Huang Jing's expression was already extremely ugly. Earlier, he was the one holding back the rank 7 monster, But now, the monster had also sensed the arrival of reinforcements, and it was now holding Huang Jing back with all its might, not letting Huang Jing leave. Demonic beasts were also intelligent. This hedgehog beast hated the guy who stole its mine of life. But after the other party revealed his head and burrowed into the ground, it couldn't detect the other party's position. Since that was the case, then it would hold back the guy who lured it out, kill him, and then go find the little thief. Huang Jing looked at the golden light coming closer and closer from the depths of Hedgehog Ridge, and the aura of the rank 8 monster on the periphery was also gradually approaching. Suddenly, he gritted his teeth and said, "You're asking for it." At this moment, this monster had made up its mind to hold him back. If he couldn't escape, he would be in trouble. Originally, he was looking for an opportunity to kill it in one blow, but he never found the opportunity. At this moment, Huang Jing couldn't care less about whether he could kill the other party or not. Even if he could, he might not be able to bring the corpse away. Thinking of this, Huang Jing no longer hesitated and suddenly shouted. At this moment, the look in the hedgehog beast's eyes changed. In the next moment, the hedgehog beast's body trembled, and countless long spikes pierced through the void, attacking Huang Jing in an instant. These long spikes were its life-saving trump card. Every long spike had experienced countless times of tempering, and its sharpness was not weaker than the chaos-vanquishing saber. At this moment, hundreds of long spikes shot out from its body. The long spikes were mixed with celestiality, and each one was enough to kill a rank 6 martial artist. When hundreds of them attacked at the same time, even a rank 7 powerhouse would have to be careful not to be heavily injured. Huang Jing snorted coldly. This was the opportunity he had been waiting for. Unfortunately, the other party had not used it before, and now it was the same. The reason why the hedgehog beast suddenly erupted was not to kill Huang Jing, but because it had sensed danger. Just as its long spikes shot out, a golden short sword suddenly appeared in front of Huang Jing out of thin air. The short sword was about 30 centimeters long, more like a blade without a hilt. The moment the short sword appeared, the void trembled slightly, and Huang Jing's face instantly turned pale. Countless celestiality surged into the short sword, disappearing quickly. Everything happened extremely fast, so fast that the long spikes had not yet attacked. In the next moment, the short sword exploded with an unparalleled force. In the distance, the golden light that was less than 10 li away trembled slightly, and its speed instantly slowed down, as if it was hesitating. Huang Jing did not care about this, and suddenly shouted, "Kill!" The short sword shot out in an instant. Halfway through, hundreds of long spikes, which were originally extremely tough, instantly turned into powder when the short sword brushed past them. The remaining ones lost their strength and fell from the sky. Whoa! The hedgehog beast let out a shrill howl. It felt that its life was in danger. Just as the hedgehog beast was about to fly backward to escape, the short sword pierced through the void and directly through its head. Huang Jing's face turned pale. He gritted his teeth and used his mentality to guide the short sword. In the next moment, the short sword flew backward and landed in front of him, then disappeared into thin air. Old Wu's condensation is too strong, and it's not my own divine weapon either. I can only unleash the power of one attack. Huang Jing cursed in his heart. Everything had been planned out well, and this was the source of his confidence in killing the rank 7 monster. But now, next time, he would never believe Fong Ping and Qin Fengqing. He was really out of his mind. How could he believe what Fong Ping and Qin Fengqing had said? Was he out of his mind? At this moment, he could not care less about cursing. Looking at the small, weak hole that had appeared in front of the hedgehog beast's head, Huang Jing wanted to dig out the core of the brain and heart. But at this moment, the golden light nearby seemed to have realized something and was already attacking quickly. Huang Jing was a little unwilling, but at this time, there was really no time to collect it. If I had known, I would have used my full strength the moment I started. That was what he thought, but at that time, the hedgehog beast would still be at full strength. He might not be able to kill it in one attack, and if he could not kill it, the situation would not be any better than now. Moreover, If he really lured out the rank 8 monster deep in the forest, Fong Ping might not be able to dig out any energy stones. After all, Huang Jing was not a young man. At this moment, he was only thinking, but his movements did not slow down. The moment the short sword was withdrawn, Huang Jing did not look back. He did not even look at the hedgehog beast in front of him and quickly fled south. At this moment, the 100 Beast Forest was to the east, the rank 8 monster deep in the Hedgehog Ridge was to the north, and the rank 8 aura was also coming from the west. Only the south was the only way out. Those two brats, they better pray for their own good. Huang Jing really could not care about the two of them. Moreover, he was out in the open. If these high-ranked monsters wanted to kill him, there was a high chance that they would also be chasing after him. He hoped that these two fellows could find a chance to leave, or else it would be over. At the same time that Huang Jing exploded and killed the hedgehog beast in one attack. In the Hedgehog Ridge, Qin Fengqing hid in a small call, gulping. You really can't blame me? Under normal circumstances, for a mountain like this, having one high-rank monster was already the peak. A mountain could not accommodate two tigers, just like the Jiao's forest, which also only had one high-rank monster. This was because it was very difficult to tolerate a second high-ranked monster wandering around its old nest. He did not expect that there would be a rank 8 monster in the Hedgehog Ridge. Looking at the distant sky, Huang Jing fleeing at high speed, the monster falling from midair, Qin Fengqing was still a little tempted. However, when he saw a golden light approaching, in the next moment, the golden light arrived, exploding with a mournful roar, and then quickly chasing after Huang Jing. Qin Fengqing was a little frightened. The rank 8 monster is going to kill Old Huang. Old Huang is in danger. Qin Fengqing was helpless. As for the place where the monster landed, at this moment, he already saw countless middle and low-ranked monsters gathering there, not sure if they were going to protect the carcass or to devour it. I'm going. The daylilies are already cold. I can't do anything about Old Huang. I'll just run faster. Oh right, Qin Fengqing's eyes suddenly lit up. Fortune came from danger. In the next moment, Qin Fengqing's gaze fell on a place tens of li away. That was the depths of the Hedgehog Ridge. Earlier, the rank 8 monster flew out from there. Where the rank 8 monster is, there shouldn't be any other monsters. Now that it's going to kill Old Huang, doesn't that mean? Thinking of this, Qin Fengqing gritted his teeth. This time entering the catacombs, he had not gained anything yet. Now, Old Huang was being chased, and Fong Ping also did not know where he was. It was also hard to say whether he had dug out the mine or not. If he wanted to break through, he would not be able to do so without a lot of resources. He did not believe that there was nothing good in the place where the rank 8 monster was. If there was really nothing, even a rank 7 monster might not be able to occupy a mineral vein. Let's do it. Thinking of this, Qin Fengqing did not hesitate anymore. Taking advantage of the large number of monsters heading towards the Grand Canyon area, Qin Fengqing ran almost close to the ground, sprinting towards the depths. Rank 8's nest, hopefully there would be something good. Also, Old Huang must hold on for a little longer, bring the rank 8 and run far away, or else, when the other returned, he would also be finished. Qin Fengqing did not escape. Instead, he ran towards the depths, wanting to take the opportunity to rob the rank 8 monster's nest. Underground, Fong Ping also sensed the energy fluctuations of Huang Jing's escape. At the same time, he also sensed the disappearance of the rank 7 monster's aura. Just as the rank 8 monster chased after it, a head suddenly popped out from the weeds at the edge of the canyon. Staring at the monster's corpse that had fallen a few hundred meters away, Fong Ping's eyes showed a hint of struggle. Should I take it? This was a divine weapon. Fong Ping was actually extremely surprised that Huang Jing could kill this rank 7 monster so quickly. He did not see how Huang Jing killed it, but a monster that was similar to his strength was actually killed so quickly. Huang Jing obviously had some secrets. Fong Ping could not guess at the moment, but he had a general idea. He had already killed it. If he ran now, would it not be a waste? To be able to kill a rank 7 monster in seconds, not even giving the other party a chance to self-destruct, with its brain and heart intact, this was extremely rare. Usually, rank 8 or 9 powerhouses, even if they killed those monsters, would choose to self-destruct when the monster was no match for them. A complete corpse is really too rare. In order to kill this monster, Old Huang must have paid a huge price. I can't waste it. Thinking of this, Fong Ping did not hesitate in an instant. He dug into the ground, drilling toward the place where the monster had fallen. The monster is about 5 meters long, 3 meters tall, and 2 meters wide. If I want to take it away in one piece, then I need a volume of 30 cubic meters. No wonder I rarely see people bring back high-rank monsters. At most, I can just bring some brain, heart, blood, and the like. It's too big. Such a big monster could not be taken away by ordinary people. Even top-notch powerhouses could only take some of the precious parts after killing the monster. Fong Ping, on the other hand, wanted to take the whole thing away. In reality, there was no time for him to cut it. Huang Jing did not choose to cut it because there was not enough time. My storage space is not big enough. I need to expand it at least by 26 cubic meters, and it has to be according to the monster's size. With more than 13 billion wealth, is it worth it to bring back a monster? It's worth it. Fong Ping thought about these thoughts as he dug his way through. A complete rank 7 monster's carcass was extremely valuable. Other things aside, a complete rank 7 monster was equivalent to a complete divine weapon. Its flesh, blood, and bones could be sold to exchange for other supplementary materials. A divine weapon, even the lowest grade, was shockingly expensive. Among rank 7 martial artists, not many had divine weapons. Very few people had rank 8 ones. Rank 9 martial artists might not even have rank 9 divine weapons. They might only have rank 7 divine weapons. This was also normal. It was obvious how rare divine weapons were. At this moment, Fong Ping's wealth was still close to 17 billion. Without further consideration, Fong Ping quickly began to expand the storage space's surface area. His wealth was consumed by 500 million. In a short while, more than 10 billion wealth was consumed. This was probably the fastest wealth Fong Ping had ever spent in his life. However, in order to take this monster away, Fong Ping was going all out. The moment the storage space's expansion ended, Fong Ping's head appeared a few meters away from the monster's carcass. At this moment, the other low-rank monsters had not arrived yet. However, Fong Ping could already see the monster's silhouettes. Ignoring the monsters, Fong Ping crawled out of the hole and quickly approached the hedgehog beast's carcass. In the blink of an eye, the carcass disappeared. Some of the monsters that were rushing over from afar saw the carcass disappear. Many of them were confused. Why was it gone? However, Fong Ping did not care about that. He breathed a sigh of relief and scanned the storage space that was filled to the brim. He was extremely satisfied. This time, he had gained a lot. At this moment, the only thing he needed to worry about was whether Old Huang could escape the rank 8 monster's pursuit. Thinking of this, he remembered what Old Huang had said earlier. 2 rank 8 monsters. Fong Ping glanced at the 100 Beast forest from the corner of his eye. Had they already discovered him? Was there another rank 8 monster rushing over? He did not see the golden light. Fong Ping did not care anymore. He would run first. Fong Ping quickly crawled into the hole. Just as he was about to crawl, Fong Ping seemed to sense something and could not help but turn his head to look. Behind him, in the distant sky, a golden light was flying leisurely. Fong Ping's expression turned uglier than a dead man's. What kind of joke was this? Why did the figure in the golden light look so familiar? This place was more than 600 li away from the Jiao's forest. I must have seen wrongly. Fong Ping shuddered. He must have seen wrongly. He did not dare to look anymore. He did not have time to look anymore. He quickly burrowed into the ground. Whether it was or not, he had to run. This was too strange. The 100 Beast forest was 200 li away. The monsters there had yet to arrive, but the Jiao from 600 li away had actually arrived. Stop joking. The golden light must have been too bright. He must have seen wrongly. I must have seen wrongly. Underground, Fong Ping looked terrified. He was not afraid of other monsters. If he hid his aura and hid underground, the other might not be able to find him. But this Jiao, Motherf asterisk Kerr. It was too familiar with him. It only hid its energy aura. What about his scent? In the next moment, Fong Ping, who was underground, started to take off his clothes. He had to be careful. He had to be careful. That fellow had eaten a lot of his vitality. Among the catacombs' powerhouses and monsters, it was the one who was most familiar with him. Don't scare yourself. Even a rank 9 can't find me. It definitely can't either. Chapter 437. In the air. The Jiao had already sensed the battle between two masters, but it had no interest in meddling. If it could lie down, it wouldn't sit. If it could sit, it wouldn't stand. If it could, it wouldn't. 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 Unfortunately, the chef from last time had slipped away. But even if it didn't, its rank was too low. The Jiao didn't want to eat to its heart's content, so it didn't want to catch it. The Pekingese beside it started barking again. The Jiao couldn't be bothered. It wasn't like its lair was being raided. Why should it hurry? It would rather wait for the opponent to finish fighting before passing by. If it hadn't sensed that the two masters had run away, it would have stayed for a while longer. But when it flew to the place where the hedgehog beast had fallen, the Jiao suddenly stopped. There seemed to be a familiar smell. Its big nose twitched. The Jiao looked around. When it heard the Pekingese barking again, the Jiao didn't say a word and sent out a bolt of heaven and earth energy. If it wasn't worried about the kings in the forbidden area, it would have swallowed this guy. The Pekingese couldn't help but cry out in pain. The Jiao did not care about it and suddenly descended. As soon as it landed, the surrounding beasts roared in unison. This was the Hedgehog Ridge. They had their own king. Now that their king had gone to kill the enemy, this outsider demon had entered their territory. That was intolerable. The Jiao's big eyes showed a hint of impatience. The next moment, the Jiao opened its mouth and started sucking. Around it, countless beasts were pressed to the ground. Their blood and energy kept seeping out and quickly entered the Jiao's mouth. Roar! The Pekingese was completely enraged. It started roaring. The Hedgehog Ridge was the barrier of the forbidden area. The Golden Horned Beast King was slaughtering and eating here. That was a violation of the forbidden area's interests. The Jiao's eyes flashed fiercely. It was extremely impatient. A demon that had just entered the commander level had provoked it again and again. At least from its point of view, the other party had interrupted its opportunity to eat and had also forced it to go to the forbidden area to have an audience. This was the greatest provocation to it. In the next moment, thick pillars of heaven and earth power came crashing down crazily like giant pillars. The Jiao's golden claws slapped at the Pekingese again and again. The Pekingese howled in pain, but did not dare to fight back. Although the Golden Horned Beast King had just entered the venerable realm, it was extremely powerful. Otherwise, the Forbidden Land would not have forced it to return. After beating up the Pekingese for a while, the Jiao did not kill the other monsters in the end. It only absorbed a large amount of their blood and energy. At that moment, the ground was littered with fallen monsters. The Jiao leisurely walked around in a circle. When it came to the side of the fallen thorns, the Jiao suddenly sniffed. After sniffing for a while, Jiao's huge eyes revealed a human-like look of contemplation. It was the aura of the silly blockhead. Why would the dumb woods aura appear here? That silly tree had taken root in the mining area of life and would not easily leave. How could its aura appear in the forbidden area? The Jiao suddenly leapt into the air, looking at the 100-beast forest in the distance. Then, in the next moment, the Jiao suddenly turned around, and in an instant, a giant golden claw slammed down. Boom! A loud sound rang out. In the next moment, a shrill howl resounded. The Pekingese's eyes revealed a touch of disbelief. The Golden Horned Beast King wanted to kill it. How could this be? How dare it? The Jiao did not howl. There was only coldness and emotionlessness in its huge eyes. Rays of heaven and earth energy intertwined on its golden horn, continuously striking down. The Pekingese's flesh and bones were torn apart. Blood flowed everywhere. Just as the Pekingese was in despair, the Jiao suddenly stopped. At that moment, the Pekingese was already severely injured and unable to move. Its core that was about to self-destruct suddenly stopped. At this moment, the long thorns that had fallen to the ground shot out in an instant. Poochie! Dozens of long thorns instantly pierced through the Pekingese's body. Then, these long thorns turned into dust and disappeared in midair. The surrounding monsters were already terrified to the extreme. Their intelligence was limited. They did not understand what had just happened. All they knew was that the Beast King had killed a monster leader. And before that, it was that monster leader who stopped the Beast King from devouring them. Although they were not very intelligent, at this moment, the desire to live was an instinctive reaction. All the monsters retreated, trembling in fear. The Jiao's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. Suddenly, it released its mental energy, suppressing all the monsters to the ground. At that moment, the Jiao opened its mouth wide and began to eat peacefully. Without the Pekingese's disturbance, the meal was much quieter. As for the Pekingese's corpse, the Jiao did not touch it, nor did it devour it. Although a level 7 monster could devour all the monsters in the vicinity, the Jiao did not touch it. A moment later, all the monsters were devoured, turning into dried corpses. The Jiao's horn shimmered with the power of heaven and earth. With a few swings, all the dried corpses were turned into dust. At that moment, the ground shook, and a hole appeared in front of the Jiao. The Jiao's nose twitched. It was indeed a familiar smell. Although the smell was weak and not obvious, it had seen it a few times and had eaten a lot of blood energy. It still remembered it. Not in a hurry to capture the chef, the Jiao turned its head and looked into the distance. Less than 100 li away, there were energy fluctuations. It should be the owners of the two auras from before fighting. Looking at the Pekingese's corpse beside it, the Jiao's large eyes revealed a hint of contemplation. The Forbidden Land had summoned it. What if it was injured by the Dumbwood? If it went to Monsterwood City, the Wood King was still there, and the Dumbwood was very strong. It might not be able to escape unscathed. Now that the Dumbwood had killed the Forbidden Land's emissary, even if the Forbidden Land suspected, if it invaded the Dumbwood's territory, there would probably be no demons to help it, right? The Jiao's large head kept shaking, as if thinking about something. In the next moment, the Jiao rose into the air, flying in the direction of the energy fluctuations in the distance. At the bottom of the mountain, Fong Ping was motionless, like a rock. At that moment, Fong Ping was cursing in his heart. What the hell? He actually met the Jiao here. Damn it. Since the first time he entered the catacombs, he had met the Jiao several times in the Magic City catacombs. Not only did he meet it near Hope City, but this time, he came 600 li away from Hope City. How could he meet it here? Could it be that the Jiao's territory had expanded to here? That was unbelievable, wasn't it? At that moment, Fong Ping did not dare to continue digging, worried that he would cause a commotion and be discovered. He hoped that the Jiao was just passing by. In the distance, there were some energy fluctuations. Fong Ping also felt them, but he was too lazy to care. Who knew what was going on outside? After a while, everything was quiet. A strong aura instantly went far away. The entire Hedgehog Ridge seemed to have fallen into a deathly silence. There was not a single sound in the entire mountain range. This kind of deathly silence made Fong Ping's heart anxious. What was going on? Even if the high-ranked monsters had all left the huge Hedgehog Ridge, there were still many middle-ranked and low-ranked monsters. Why was there no sound at all? Fong Ping did not dare to show his head. It was so quiet, he did not even dare to breathe, much less show his head. Wait a little more, wait a little more. About 60 li away from Hedgehog Ridge, Huang Jing's face was deathly pale. His heart was also extremely pessimistic. He was really going to die. A middle stage rank 7 against a rank 8. How could he be a match? At that moment, the golden short sword once again appeared in front of him, but the golden glow was much dimmer. It's fine if I die, but if I lose old Wu's divine weapon, it's over. Huang Jing's heart was pessimistic. This time, he had borrowed Wu Quishan's divine weapon with the intention of killing a rank 7 monster and obtaining a divine weapon. Fong Ping had said that this time, If he obtained a divine weapon, it would belong to whoever did it. He only wanted the energy mine. Huang Jing also had a strong desire for a divine weapon. Not many people knew that Wu Quishan had a divine weapon, but he knew because he was there when the teacher killed the rank 8 monster. After the incident, the teacher did not keep the divine weapon for himself, but gave it to Wu Quishan, which made Huang Jing extremely unhappy. That time when he killed the rank 8 monster, the teacher's injuries were even more serious. If not for that, the peak rank 8 teacher would not have to perish together with the middle stage rank 8 commander-in-chief in Skygate City. Now that a rank 7 like him was dead, it was not as serious as losing the divine weapon. This half-rank 9 divine weapon was much more useful in Wu Quishan's hands than in his own. This was also Wu Quishan's capital to fight against the weaker rank 9. If he lost it, the consequences would be too serious. Greed is at work. Old Lin still can't see through this. Huang Jing thought about this while controlling the golden short sword with difficulty. If not for greed, he should not have borrowed the divine weapon. At this moment, it was difficult for him to resist this crazy monster's attack. A rank 8 monster's strength was much stronger than his. In addition, he had used all his strength to kill the rank 7 monster earlier. His strength was not at its peak. If not for the divine weapon, he might have been killed long ago. However, now that he was entangled with the monster, it would not be long before he was killed. At this moment, Huang Jing was thinking of nothing else but to bring the divine weapon back. Where is Fong Ping? Can he bring the divine weapon? At this moment, Huang Jing was a little anxious. He did not know where Fong Ping was. Otherwise, if he threw the divine weapon to Fong Ping and fought to the death with this monster, Fong Ping might be able to bring the divine weapon back. Just as he was thinking about whether to return to Hedgehog Ridge and fight while retreating to find Fong Ping, in the next moment, Huang Jing completely dispelled this idea. On his face, there was a look of despair. This time, he was really going to die. A rank 8 monster was enough to take his life. He did not expect a second one to be here. The large hedgehog beast that was attacking Huang Jing also paused slightly. It turned its head to look at the golden light that was rushing over from afar, a hint of doubt in its cold eyes. That guy from the Golden Horn Beast clan? Why was it here? Previously, it had also sensed the Golden Horn Beast King's aura. However, they were all venerables, and they did not invade each other, so it knew that the Forbidden Land had summoned the Golden Horn Beast King. It had sensed the Golden Horn Beast King passing by, as well as the messenger's aura. It should be heading to the Forbidden Land. Why would this guy rush over? Although it was a little doubtful, the hedgehog beast did not think too much about it. Could it be that the guy wanted to see if there were any benefits to be gained? Its giant eyes swept across the land of rebirth martial artist in front of it. The hedgehog beast's eyes flashed fiercely. This guy killed its descendant. It had to kill him as soon as possible. Also, that small sword, perhaps it could be devoured now. At this moment, the hedgehog beast's attack frequency and power increased. Blood flowed from Huang Jing's mouth, and the celestiality around him began to thin. He could not hold on any longer. There was nowhere to run. At this time, Huang Jing's celestial bridge and 3 Sanjiao gates appeared. Even if he was going to die, he would fight to the death. The golden short sword was also shining brightly. Since he could not bring it away, he would think of a way to self-destruct. Just as Huang Jing was prepared to fight to the death, to severely injure this monster, even if he had to die, a golden glow approached from afar. The next moment, the golden glow stopped. The hedgehog beast's attack slowed down slightly. It twisted its spotted head and glanced at the Jiao, roaring. Roar! The Jiao roared as well, as if responding to something. A hint of anger appeared in the hedgehog beast's eyes. Damn it wanted the sword? The hedgehog beast continued to roar, and the Jiao continued to respond. After a moment, both parties seemed to have reached an agreement. The Jiao's large eyes instantly turned to Huang Jing. Huang Jing gritted his teeth. The celestial bridge trembled violently, and at this moment, the Jiao pounced toward him like a bolt of lightning. 2 rank 8 monsters were attacking a rank 7. Huang Jing was extremely indignant. Was he going to die just like that? Just as his Sanjiao gate began to tremble, waiting for the other party to get close to him and explode. The next moment, something unexpected happened. The golden glow that was shooting toward him changed direction instantly. The next moment, the golden glow charged toward the hedgehog beast. Boom! The two giant golden beasts collided in the blink of an eye. The Jiao sudden attack on the hedgehog beast was beyond both Huang Jing and the hedgehog beast's expectations. It had already reached an agreement with the golden horned beast king. It had even promised to take nothing but the little sword. Why would the golden horned beast king still attack it? Was the golden horned beast king not afraid that the forbidden land would find out about this? Roar! The hedgehog beast roared, as if it was saying something. Although Huang Jing was stunned, he did not even think about it. He hurriedly withdrew his Sanjiao gate and celestial bridge, turned around, and was about to escape. Before he could leave, an aura locked onto him. The Jiao, who was attacking the hedgehog beast, locked onto him. Its giant golden eyes also looked at him, then at the little sword. As it attacked the hedgehog beast in a frenzy, it roared at Huang Jing. Seeing the Hope City martial artist's confused and alert face, the Jiao suddenly became furious. Idiot! Idiot! Don't you understand? At this moment, it could not communicate with the other party. Otherwise, the Jiao would definitely curse, saying, "You are worse than that, chef." It signaled with its eyes. Don't you understand? Use your sword and kill this guy. The Jiao's strength was about the same as the other party. At this moment, it could only try its best to suppress it. It had thought that the martial artists of Hope City were all smart people. Now it seemed that they were stupid. The Jiao was furious and angry. It had killed the messenger of the Forbidden Land, and now it wanted to kill the guardian of the Forbidden Land's entrance. It did not want to go to the Forbidden Land. It wanted to give the impression that the Forbidden Land was attacked by the stupid wood and that it could not go to the Forbidden Land due to its serious injuries. The guardian knew that it was not the stupid wood that attacked, so the Jiao wanted to kill the demon to silence it. However, its strength was not much different from the other party. At this time, it needed the help of the stupid martial artist of Hope City. Why did he not understand? Why? The Jiao was furious. It signaled to Huang Jing with its eyes, looking at the sword, looking at the hedgehog beast, and then using the sword to kill it. At this moment, Huang Jing was still a little confused. After a moment, he seemed to understand, but he was still confused. Demon beasts were intelligent, he knew that. But why was it like this? This demon beast seemed to be the Jiao from the Jiao King's forest. Why did it attack the demon beasts of Hedgehog Ridge? Questions flashed through Huang Jing's mind. At this moment, he could not care so much. The Jiao was suppressing the hedgehog beast. The Jiao, who had just entered the 8th rank, was able to suppress its opponent with a sneak attack. Both sides did not use many techniques, just colliding with each other. Their bodies collided, their strength collided, and the two demon beasts fought until flesh and blood flew everywhere. Huang Jing saw that the Jiao was still looking at him. He hesitated. Should he run or join the fight? If he ran, would the two demon beasts continue to fight? Indecisiveness would cause him to miss a good opportunity. But this was the first time he had encountered such a situation. Screw it. This time I kill the small hedgehog beast. If I don't kill the big one, even if I return to Hope City, it might come for revenge. I have to kill it. With this thought in mind, he looked at the hedgehog beast again. Huang Jing noticed something strange. The Jiao was suppressing the hedgehog beast, and it deliberately moved its head away. Was it creating an opportunity for him? The strange feeling in Huang Jing's heart grew stronger. What was this Jiao trying to do? Many years ago, he knew of the Jiao's existence. It was the strongest demon beast near Hope City. A long time ago, it was already at the peak of the 7th rank. The Jiao had never participated in the war between the two cities. It was as if it was looking for a place to hide and rarely moved. Other than the time when Tianmen City surrounded it, all these years, as long as it did not enter the Jiao's forest, the Jiao would not come out, as if it did not exist. Because of this, when the siege failed, Tianmen City did not care about it anymore. But recently, this Jiao had been making a lot of moves. The strange feeling in his heart grew stronger. But Huang Jing did not dare to be careless. Who knew what these demon beasts were thinking? He still had to be on guard. He retreated a distance, but as soon as he did, Huang Jing felt the Jiao's anger and malice. The pair of huge eyes stared at him coldly. It was obvious that it was telling him that if he retreated, it would attack him, even if the hedgehog beast escaped. As expected, it doesn't want me to leave, Huang Jing thought. Little did he know, the Jiao was so angry that it wanted to swallow him whole. Why was he so stupid? Wasn't the Hope City's martial artist and the chef quite smart? He had made it so obvious. Why didn't he understand? The Jiao's anger was at its peak. Huang Jing finally made up his mind. The short sword in his hand instantly burst with a strong, golden light. The hedgehog beast roared angrily. The Jiao also went all out, attacking crazily. The giant golden horn on its head burst with an extremely strong golden light. The two giant beasts collided with each other. The ground below cracked, and countless small hills were instantly turned into dust. Golden blood dripped down like raindrops, smashing holes in the ground. Huang Jing's face became paler and paler. The energy of heaven and earth around him quickly rushed into the short sword, and the golden light became even stronger. In the next moment, Huang Jing saw an opportunity. The Jiao's giant golden horn pierced the hedgehog beast's body. The long spikes on the hedgehog beast's body shot out, turning the Jiao into a porcupine. The long spikes were a weapon, but also a defensive armor. When the spikes were removed, the hedgehog beast's defense was at its lowest. At this moment, Huang Jing roared. The golden short sword silently pierced through the void, shooting toward the hedgehog beast's head. The hedgehog beast roared and frantically retreated. However, the Jiao made a very human-like move. Its two front claws suddenly hugged the hedgehog beast, allowing it to attack. Flesh and blood splattered everywhere. The Jiao did not let go. Once the Hope City martial artists killed it, it would devour the Guardian and be one step closer to the King realm. Monsterwood City's dumb would be devoured by it sooner or later. After devouring countless life stones and the fountain of life, it would become a real beast king. Roar! The roar shook the heavens and the earth. In a faraway place, in the 100 Beasts forest, it seemed to have sensed something. On the other side, in Monster Sunflower City, a shocking aura rose. However, the distance between these two places was extremely far. Even a rank 9 would not be able to arrive quickly. The Jiao hugged the hedgehog beast tightly with its giant claws. Huang Jing's face was extremely pale. The golden short sword pierced through the hedgehog beast's head. Flesh and blood splattered everywhere. The golden skull was revealed, and the flesh and blood were rapidly recovering. However, the short sword continued to penetrate deeper. At this time, the Jiao also moved. The giant golden horn was pulled out of the hedgehog beast's body, and a corner of the horn pierced through the hedgehog beast's body. Roar! The sorrowful roar continued. The Jiao opened its mouth and suddenly began to devour the golden substance in a frenzy. Huang Jing was also continuously injecting celestiality into the short sword. Blood flowed from his mouth, and a cracking sound was heard. A crack appeared on the golden skull. In the next moment, the skull was pierced, and a large amount of imperishable substance began to spill out. Chapter 438. The hedgehog beast's shrill cries continued. The Jiao was devouring its imperishable substance. Huang Jing was on high alert. He sheathed his dagger and used flight step to escape. Without the suppression of the divine weapon, the hedgehog beast began to struggle. The Jiao's eyes were filled with anger, but it was too late to chase after it. Compared to Huang Jing, devouring the Guardian was more important. But the Guardian was also an important part of its plan to deal with the Forbidden Land. It was fine if the Guardian left, since Hope City had nothing to do with the Forbidden Land. But it could not take the dagger with it. It had not even used the dagger to cut itself. As the Jiao devoured frantically, it glared at the fleeing Huang Jing, growing angrier. If he left just like that, what would it do? But the guardian was not completely dead. If it did not kill it now, and the Forbidden Land found out, it would be done for. Huang Jing ran further and further away. The Jiao panicked. Did it really have to go to Monsterwood City and fight? But it might not make it back. The Jiao wanted to chase after it, but the guardian was still struggling. Its imperishable substance was dispersing and recovering. The Jiao's eyes flashed with anger. It ignored Huang Jing and focused on devouring. First devour the guardian, then find this guy. Even if it could not find him, there was still a familiar guy at the gate. If it found him, it might be able to find this guy who ran away. The Jiao did not look at Huang Jing anymore. It continued to devour. After a while, the hedgehog beast's struggles became weak. After a while, the hedgehog beast stopped moving. The golden imperishable light gradually faded, but the monster's body remained. The Jiao did not waste this time. It swallowed everything. Flesh, bones, everything went into its stomach. In the end, all that was left was a broken golden skull. The wound on the skull was caused by the dagger. It carried a thick monsterwood aura. The Jiao slapped the broken golden skull into the ground. Huang Jing's figure had completely disappeared. The Jiao was deep in thought. He had run for so long, it might not be able to catch up. In the distance, there was some movement in the Forbidden Land. If another battle broke out, it might attract the kings of the Forbidden Land. Thinking of something, the Jiao quickly flew in the direction of Hedgehog Ridge. Hedgehog Ridge. The deathly silence was still unsettling. At the foot of the mountain, Fong Ping moved cautiously. He did not feel any mentality scanning him. At this time, Fong Ping did not dare to poke his head out to check on the situation. He began to dig carefully. After a while, Fong Ping gritted his teeth. It was so quiet, and the sound of digging was too loud. He might as well sneak out and run. Thinking of this, Fong Ping did not continue digging. Instead, he walked back. After a while, Fong Ping's expression changed. The hole in front of him had collapsed. That's not the point. More importantly, he seemed to have seen something. Is that a demonic beast? No. It's so big, and it doesn't have any aura at all. What kind of demonic beast is this? Fong Ping only caught a glimpse of it. He did not dare to look closely, so he hid beside the collapsed pit. But he did see a demonic beast crouching outside the pit. There was no sign of life. What's going on? Fong Ping was at a loss. Why was there another monster carcass outside? The size of a demonic beast was often related to its strength. This demonic beast was no smaller than the previous hedgehog beast. Didn't that mean another high rank? Dead? Fong Ping was on tenterhooks. He began to probe carefully. Soon, Fong Ping confirmed that it was indeed dead. Another high-rank monster carcass. What day is it today? Who killed it? All right, the monster that looked like the Jiao seemed to have another monster following it. Could it be this one? Could it be the Jiao killed it? Fong Ping felt like his brain was turning into mush. What the hell was going on? Today's incidents happened one after another. He was almost at a loss. First, there was a rank 8 monster at Hedgehog Ridge. Then he seemed to have seen the Jiao a few hundred miles away. Then he suddenly realized that the monster following the Jiao was dead. Where did the Jiao go? Was the Jiao the one who killed the monster? But the two of them seemed to be in cahoots. Why did they suddenly have an internal conflict? I feel like my IQ is too low. Should I go out? Has the Jiao left? Fong Ping was struggling. He was really confused now. After a while, Fong Ping gritted his teeth. The benefits were right in front of him. If he did not take them, would he be stupid? He knew very well how difficult it was to kill a rank 7 monster. Even a rank 8 or 9 powerhouse might not be able to do it easily. It was not that he could not kill it, but if he did, how could he preserve the carcass? Stop it from self-destructing? How could he not attract the attention of stronger powerhouses? These were all difficult problems. Thinking of these, Fong Ping carefully walked out of the collapsed passageway. When he saw the monster in front of him covered in wounds, Fong Ping frowned slightly. Were the heart and brain cores still there? Also, this monster was not small. It would not be easy to take it away. It was difficult to expand the storage space now. The key was that he did not have money. The system had not calculated his wealth yet. In order to expand the storage space, he had spent 13 billion wealth. Now he was left with less than 4 billion. If he expanded it again, he would not be able to expand it to 8 cubic meters. It would not fit. What a pity. Looks like I can only dig up something useful and bring it back. Fong Ping felt a little regretful. He was also extremely cautious. The system did not increase his wealth. What did this mean? He was not out of danger. Now, he had to be extremely careful. Fong Ping took a light breath and carefully walked towards the monster in front of him. He looked around. Hedgehog Ridge was extremely quiet at the moment. It was a little scary. Forget it. I'll dig out the heart and brain cores first. Soon, Fong Ping walked forward with a shovel and prepared to dissect the dead monster. Just as he was about to move the shovel, Fong Ping's expression changed drastically. F*CK, it was back. At this moment, a golden light was descending from the distance. Fong Ping did not dare to hesitate. He hurriedly burrowed into the ground. He was stunned. Did it not leave? Why did it come back? Not long after Fong Ping burrowed into the ground, the Jiao's figure landed. Its huge eyes looked around. Then, the Jiao's nose began to twitch, identifying the aura bit by bit. The chef's strength was average. He could not have run very far. However, the Jiao was surprised that it could not sense the chef's exact location. Soon, the Jiao sniffed the hole that Fong Ping had just burrowed out of. The aura here seemed to be thicker. The Jiao slammed its claws down, and the entire ground collapsed. Hedgehog Ridge was still silent. The collapsed ground revealed some underground holes. The Jiao continued to sniff. As it sniffed, it slammed the ground. Passageways collapsed and split open. Not far away, at the foot of the mountain, Fong Ping's face turned green. What was it doing? Was it going to turn over the entire mountain to find him? He had blown up Gigantic Willow City. The powerhouses of Gigantic Willow City were hunting him down, but they did not go this far, did they? What kind of grudge did he have with the Jiao that it had to do this? Under normal circumstances, even if a monster killed someone, as long as you did not raid its home or steal its treasures, the monster would not go out of its way to kill you. Just like the previous few times, when he ran away, the Jiao did not chase after him. There was no need to. What was happening today? Was it because he had run away twice and had completely angered the Jiao? Was it determined to kill him? Or was the Jiao unhappy because he had brought a rank 7 monster to it last time? Watching as the Jiao moved along the underground passageway bit by bit, Fong Ping felt that if he continued like this, he would definitely be caught. That would be the end of him. At this moment, Fong Ping could not care less. Something was wrong with Hedgehog Ridge. It was too quiet. Not even the roars of monsters could be heard. It was as if the entire mountain was lifeless. If this continued, it would be difficult for him to avoid being hunted down. Fong Ping gritted his teeth, took out his shovel, and continued digging. There was nothing he could do about the faint sound. At this moment, Fong Ping had already covered the area with a barrier with his mentality. The sound was actually not loud and might not be able to travel out. He was afraid that the faint vibration would be detected by the Jiao. Fortunately, the Jiao was still slamming the ground. This kind of collapsing sound covered up the vibration of his digging. Fong Ping dug quickly. After a while, he changed to another path and continued digging. Ever since I learned how to dig tunnels, I seem to have been doing this all the time. Fong Ping's heart was filled with indescribable sorrow. He had really become a digging expert. Last time at Nanjiang, he had started digging for the first time. Now, as he dug, it had become a habit. Now he had a lot of experience. He knew where water sources were likely to appear and where collapses were likely to occur. In terms of geology, Fong Ping felt that he could barely be considered a half-baked expert. The sense of direction on the surface is weak. There are no landmarks, so it's easy to get lost. But underground, I feel that my sense of direction is very strong. What the hell? Fong Ping complained in his heart. He also prayed that the Jiao would stop. Did it have nothing better to do? Why did a rank 8 monster have to make life difficult for him? If it had so much free time, go find a rank 8 monster to kill. Fong Ping was unhappy. The Jiao was unhappy too. Where did it go? It clearly sensed that it was nearby. The ground was about to collapse. If this continued, once it attracted the attention of the Forbidden Land, it would be too late for the envoys to come. It had to find the guy who ran away quickly and let him slash it with a short sword. The Jiao was a little anxious. Suddenly, it thought of something and stopped slamming. As soon as it stopped, the ground in the distance trembled slightly, then quickly stopped as well. The Jiao's big eyes showed a hint of mockery. As expected, it was nearby. In the next second, the Jiao appeared in the sky above the ground and slammed down with its palm. Below, a small hole appeared. There was no one. The Jiao was furious. It disappeared again. After a while of crazy destruction, everything around it collapsed. The Jiao seemed to think of something again. Suddenly, it stopped destroying. On the golden horn, traces of blood-colored vitality were being stripped away. It was prepared to deal with a chef who liked to run away. In the next moment, a weak wisp of vitality floated in the air. This wisp of vitality seemed to be alive. It swayed slightly in the air, then began to float forward. Underground, Fong Ping's heart was pounding. He wondered if he had dug up the Jiao's ancestral grave. Otherwise, why would he keep searching? If it were him, if he met a rank 3 catacombs martial artist and the other party ran away or hid, he would not keep chasing. If he had the time, he could kill a few rank 4 and 5 martial artists. High-rank beasts would rarely do such a thing. Why were all the monsters he met so unreliable? Don't look for me. Why do you have to look for me? Fong Ping wanted to cry. Huang Jing was gone too. He did not know what was going on. Otherwise, if someone attracted the Jiao's attention, he could find a chance to escape. Now it seemed like he was the only living person in the vast Hedgehog Ridge. It was hard to run. Just as Fong Ping was embedding himself in a small hole like a rock, his eyes suddenly moved. What is this? He saw a faint blood-colored thing seeping out of the soil, drilling into his body. What is this? Fong Ping's expression changed. When the blood-colored thread entered his body, Fong Ping's expression changed dramatically. Vitality force. Familiar vitality force. My own vitality force. Just as Fong Ping realized this, his eyes suddenly lit up. The soil above him was lifted. A huge golden head was facing him. Fong Ping's face was pale. He laughed dryly. King Jiao, long time no see. The Jiao had really gone mad. It actually still retained its own blood chi force. Fong Ping did not expect this at all. The Jiao's big eyes looked at him, revealing a hint of mockery. Fong Ping swallowed and crawled out of the soil. He laughed dryly. King Jiao, are you hungry? Do you want to eat? The Jiao did not reply. It was not in the mood to eat. In the next moment, Fong Ping floated up and was quickly led to the dead monster. The Jiao looked at the monster, then at Fong Ping. Fong Ping did not quite understand. He whispered, King Jiao wants me to accept these gifts? As soon as he finished speaking, the Jiao's giant golden claw slammed down. Fong Ping was smashed into the ground, his face flushed. Damn it. You brought me here suddenly. How would I know what you want? Looks like you're not here to give me gifts. The Jiao smacked him with its claw. Then, a long, broken spike floated in front of him. Fong Ping recognized it. It was the spike from the hedgehog beast. More importantly, was it for him to see? Seeing that he still didn't understand, the Jiao swung its claws and cut off the spike. Then it looked into the distance. After thinking for a moment, a short sword suddenly appeared out of thin air in front of it. The Jiao's psychic power materialized, and the moment the short sword appeared, an inconspicuous figure appeared. Fong Ping stared at it for a while. Was this an understanding of the content of the picture? Someone used a short sword to kill the hedgehog beast. You want a short sword? Fong Ping had guessed it. It was Huang Jing, although the Jiao had only given him a shadow. Seeing the Jiao staring at him, Fong Ping said dryly, This. I know this person, but I'm not familiar with him. What? You want to eat me if you can't find him? Don't. Fong Ping thought to himself. Should he bring the Jiao to find Huang Jing? What did the Jiao want? Did it want to eat Huang Jing? No, it wanted a short sword. A short sword? A divine weapon? It wanted a divine weapon? Seeing that the Jiao was scratching its body with its claws, Fong Ping asked suspiciously, "King, are you going to stab yourself with a short sword?" "That should I stab you a few times with a knife?" Seeing that the Jiao was about to explode, Fong Ping quickly shut his mouth, but his mind was racing. What was the Jiao trying to do? Was it asking Huang Jing to stab it with a short sword? Was the Jiao tired of living? Even though he did not understand, Fong Ping still smiled. "King, how about this? I'll go look for him. When I find him, I'll bring the short sword back and stab you a few times." He did not dare to bring the Jiao to find Huang Jing. What if he killed Huang Jing? Besides, he did not know what Huang Jing's situation was like. Right, the vice-chancellor is being chased by monsters. Should I lure the Jiao over? Fong Ping could not help but think of this, but before he could finish his thought, the Jiao was already pounding the ground impatiently. In the next moment, Fong Ping levitated into the air. The Jiao took him and chased after Huang Jing. Are we going to find the vice-chancellor? What is it trying to do? Thinking of this, Fong Ping looked at the monster carcass that was slowly disappearing into the distance. At least let me dig out its heart and brain. The Jiao was too wasteful. As if Fong Ping's gaze was too intense, the Jiao growled in a low, warning tone. Fong Ping was half-guessing. "Can't touch it? King Jiao, you killed it, right? Why aren't you eating it? Can't eat it? You have to keep it, right?" Fong Ping guessed again and again. After the Jiao had flown for a while, Fong Ping suddenly thought of something. "I don't think I'm wearing any clothes." But now it was dark. No one should have seen him, right? The Jiao wanted Huang Jing to stab it with a divine dagger, and it left the monster carcass untouched. All the monsters on Hedgehog Ridge had disappeared. Could it have been killed to keep the secret? Could it be that this guy wants old Huang to take the blame for it? Fong Ping felt that this was a little familiar. There might be some evidence left on the monster carcass, evidence related to old Huang. That's why the Jiao didn't touch the carcass. The long stab earlier, the aura of a divine weapon. Could there be remnants of a divine weapon on the dead monster? The Jiao and that guy were in cahoots. They suddenly killed each other and then tried to frame old Huang. But it was worried that others wouldn't believe it or that other monsters wouldn't believe it. So it wanted old Huang to stab it a few times and leave behind the divine weapon's aura. Whose trust does the Jiao need? Could it be that demonic beasts are also organized? No, the point is this monster seems to be very cunning. It actually wanted to make someone take the blame. Fong Ping was still thinking about this when the next scene that broke him down happened. A dazzling golden light shone on his body. In the dark of the night, the golden Fong Ping was especially dazzling, and most importantly, he was naked. Fong Ping was sure that if there were people around, they would definitely see him. "I'm going to kill you," Fong Ping roared in his heart. This Jiao was crazy. How could it think of such a way to lure Huang Jing out? This was practically trampling on his dignity. Fong Ping was so angry he wanted to vomit blood. A golden light shone from his head, covering his face. His lower body also shone with a golden light, so that no one could see his brother. This was too embarrassing. "I'll remember this grudge. Just you wait. I'll kill you sooner or later." Fong Ping was furious. The Jiao, on the other hand, had a flash of doubt in its eyes. Was this the indestructible body? Ignoring Fong Ping's anger, the Jiao led Fong Ping around. The golden Fong Ping was like a dazzling lamp in the air, and this move was indeed effective. In the distance, Huang Jing, who was hiding in the forest recovering from his injuries, saw the dazzling golden light. His expression changed again. Fong Ping had been captured. He did not expect that the Jiao would think of using a hostage to threaten him. He had not returned to Hope City yet. Fong Ping and Qin Fengqin were still at Hedgehog Ridge. The two high-ranked monsters there were dead. He was waiting for the Jiao to leave before going to look for them. Unexpectedly, not only did the Jiao not leave, it had come looking for him. What was the Jiao up to? Huang Jing's expression darkened. Should he show himself? He was definitely no match for the Jiao, especially since it had devoured a rank 8 monster. The Jiao was probably even scarier than before. If he showed himself, he would be in danger. But Fong Ping had been captured. If he did not show himself and Fong Ping was killed, Huang Jing's expression was one of struggle. Martial artists would not compromise. Even if word got out that Fong Ping was killed by the Jiao, no one would think that he had done anything wrong. Using the life of a rank 7 to bet on whether the Jiao would let Fong Ping go or not. With such a chance, he could almost give up. He did not want to gamble on this chance. But did he really have to watch Fong Ping get killed? Just as Huang Jing was suppressing his aura, carefully hiding, and struggling internally, Fong Ping suddenly shouted in the catacombs language, "If you're here, leave the sword behind. Don't come out." Huang Jing's expression changed again. Sword? The Jiao was here for the divine weapon, exchanging the divine weapon for Fong Ping's survival. This, if Fong Ping could survive, Wu Quishan might not object to the exchange. After all, Fong Ping might have a chance of advancing to rank 9. But what if he and the sword were both empty? Huang Jing suddenly sighed softly. Forget it. Now that things had come to this, he could only take a gamble. At this point, there was no other way. If Fong Ping was really killed, it would be hard to explain to Li Chongsheng and Lu Fengru. In his hand, a short sword appeared out of thin air. Worry flashed across Huang Jing's eyes. Then, he dropped the short sword and quickly left. He had already lost the sword. If he lost himself as well, it would not be worth it. In the next moment, Huang Jing, who was a few miles away, quickly hid. The short sword that he had left behind exploded with a faint golden light. In the air, the golden light flashed and quickly landed. As for Fong Ping, the moment he landed, he ran toward the golden light. The divine weapon could not be snatched away by the Jiao. Didn't it just need to slash it a few times? This monster would not go back on its word and snatch it away, would it? The Jiao, on the other hand, did not move. It only landed on the ground and did not move. It let Fong Ping take the short sword in front of it. The Jiao's huge eyes looked at the short sword, carefully sensing the aura coming from it. It really was the dumb wood's aura. Very strong. The Jiao seemed to remember something. This sword belonged to the person who broke into Monsterwood City. Chapter 439. King Jiao. Are you sure you want me to cut you? Fong Ping held the short sword, which kept vibrating. Fong Ping held it in his hand, but it felt like there was nothing in it. Divine weapons were indeed different. The Jiao did not reply. In fact, it did not know how to speak. Fong Ping saw that it was only looking at the short sword. He cursed inwardly. It was definitely trying to make old Huang take the blame. The question was, would it work? Or had he missed something? Fong Ping suddenly stopped hesitating. He picked up the short sword and stabbed it at the Jiao. This time he used very little strength. He was afraid that the Jiao would be hurt and swallow him whole. In the end, the short sword slid off. It could not even penetrate the outer layer of the golden armor. The Jiao seemed unhappy. It slammed its claws down, and Fong Ping sank into the ground again. You asked for it. Fong Ping gritted his teeth and stabbed at the Jiao. Boom! There was a loud sound. Fong Ping took a few steps back. The Jiao's huge eyes showed a hint of mockery. You want to penetrate my defense? Even if the weapon was related to the dumb wood, it was impossible for you to do so if you were too weak. The Jiao was mocking him. Fong Ping cursed inwardly. Fine, since you're mocking me, then I won't go easy on you. He stabbed it twice, but the Jiao did not move. This meant that it really deserved a beating. It was standing there waiting for him to stab it. He could not go easy on it. Heaven and earth appeared in Fong Ping's hand, and he quickly withdrew it. He was furious. Why did he use heaven and earth now? As expected, when he looked at the Jiao again, the Jiao's huge eyes showed surprise. It opened its mouth as if it wanted to swallow him. I knew it. I'm stupid. Fong Ping's head hurt. He knew he had done something stupid. Whatever. I'll cut it a few hundred times first. Thinking of this, Fong Ping used heaven and earth again and slashed at the Jiao. The Jiao did not seem to be in the mood to block. It let Fong Ping stab it. In the end, even with heaven and earth, he only managed to stab a small hole in the golden armor. This time, the Jiao knew that the chef was useless and did not count on him anymore. The next moment, The short sword floated up on its own. Then, the short sword flashed and pierced through the Jiao's armor. Golden blood dripped slowly. The Jiao's giant eyes flashed with a hint of unwillingness, but it did not hesitate. The short sword kept stabbing, and Fong Ping even saw a few of its golden bones break. So ruthless! Fong Ping was shocked. Did these monsters only have a little bit of intelligence? This Jiao seemed to be quite intelligent. Fong Ping was sure that this thing was definitely out to trick people. No, to trick demons. Who was it trying to trick when it injured itself? Furthermore, he had specifically asked for this short sword to make it. Perhaps it had a lot to do with this short sword. Whose divine weapon is this dagger? Fong Ping watched helplessly as the Jiao mutilated itself. This guy is crazy. Not only did it cut off its own golden bones, even many of its internal organs were cut into pieces, including its large golden head. It had mutilated itself. Seeing that its aura was getting weaker and weaker, Fong Ping was itching to make a move. If old Huang were to come out, would he be able to kill it? Although he had survived the few encounters he had with the Jiao, he still remembered how the Jiao had kited him earlier. Just as Fong Ping was deep in thought, the Jiao stopped moving. He stared at the short sword suspended in midair. The Jiao wouldn't take it away, would it? The Jiao was going to take it, and it was going to take Fong Ping with it. In the next moment, the Jiao rose into the air, bringing Fong Ping with it as it flew towards Hedgehog Ridge. In the distance, Huang Jing's eyes revealed a knowing look. This time, he had lost the bet. The Jiao had no intention of letting him go. It only wanted the divine weapon. Huang Jing waited for the Jiao to leave for a while, then quickly followed. Hedgehog Ridge. As soon as Fong Ping landed, the Jiao controlled the short sword to shoot around randomly. The rank 7 demon's corpse was also hacked countless times by the Jiao. The underground passageway was also completely destroyed by the Jiao. Just as Fong Ping was guessing what it was going to do next, the short sword suddenly floated in front of him. In the next moment, the Jiao's mentality conjured a map of a forest. "My king, you want me to go back to your old home and wait for you?" The Jiao's expression showed that it was indeed the case. Then, a wave of mentality enveloped Fong Ping and seeped into his body. Fong Ping's expression changed again. "Damn it, what are you doing?" Soon, a wisp of Fong Ping's vitality was extracted and absorbed by the Jiao into its golden horn. This chef was useful. He could actually hide from its search. Because of this, the Jiao decided not to swallow him. More importantly, his energy seemed to have leveled up. After that, the Jiao's aura became even weaker. In the next moment, it ignored Fong Ping and flew leisurely in the direction of 100 Beast Forest. It was going to find reinforcements and report the news to the Forbidden Land. The dumb tree tried to kill it. The messenger was killed, the guardian was killed, and it barely escaped whether it was true or not. It had taken it seriously. From now on, it would fight Monsterwood City to the death. Could the Forbidden Land stop it from taking revenge? Even a king would not be able to help with this kind of vengeance. The Jiao left. It left just like that. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment, then hurriedly put away the short sword. The demon had left. Where was it going? 100 Beast Forest was in front of him. It had injured itself so badly. Why would it go to 100 Beast Forest? Just as Fong Ping was in a daze, Huang Jing suddenly appeared, panting heavily. "Go! Vice-Chancellor, this what's going on? How would I know?" Huang Jing was going crazy. He was completely confused. The divine weapon was still in Fong Ping's hands. The Jiao was not after the divine weapon. If it was not for the divine weapon, what was it doing? Out of the corner of his eye, he saw the demon's carcass on the ground. Fong Ping hurriedly said, "Vice-Chancellor, don't move. The Jiao seems to have a purpose. If we move, it will definitely know that we did it. Who knows, it might come back to Hope City." Purpose. Fong Ping saw that the Jiao was already far away and said hurriedly, "Let's leave this place first. The Jiao seems to be making a fake scene. It might bring demons here later. Let's leave first. Right, Vice-Chancellor? Have you seen Qin Fengqing?" "No, you?" "Nope." Huang Jing's head hurt. Going into the catacombs with these two was really a headache. Until now, he didn't know what to do. Where's the energy mine? I've hidden it. I'll look for it later. Vice-Chancellor, let's go. Okay, Huang Jing said, then suddenly growled, Qin Fengqing, let's go. After shouting a few times, a figure appeared on a mountain in the distance. Qin Fengqing's face was wild with joy. He carried a big bag and growled in reply, let's go. After saying that, the guy ran out of the mountain without looking back. Huang Jing breathed a sigh of relief. He grabbed Fang Ping and chased after him. Very quickly, he caught up with Qin Fengqing. Staring at the big bag on his back, Huang Jing suddenly frowned. Energy crystals? There was something wrong with Qin Fengqing's big bag. Qin Fengqing grabbed Huang Jing's clothes and laughed wildly. Nothing. The last time I took some energy stones and was chased by monsters, I asked someone to coat my bag with a layer of energy crystals. Huang Jing's head hurt even more. This kid was really something. The big bag was full. Even with the energy crystals in between, he could still feel a weak energy wave. Just as he was about to continue asking, Huang Jing's expression suddenly changed. He turned his head to look behind him. Something big has happened, Huang Jing murmured. A few hundred miles away, a few towering auras surged into the sky. Rank 7 and 8 martial artists definitely could not do this. Those were rank 9 auras. 1 aura. 3 auras 5. Huang Jing's face was pale. He said in fear, 5 rank 9 auras. Let's go, something bad has happened. Just as he shouted, 2 waves of pressure instantly moved in his direction. Huang Jing's expression changed drastically. He grabbed Fang Ping and ran. In the end, 2 rank 9 auras rose in the direction of Monster Sunflower City. That was not enough. In the east, 2 rank 9 auras rose in a city that had never crossed paths with humans. From one place to another, from one place to the other, Huang Jing had not run far when the entire catacomb seemed to be in chaos. Huang Jing glared at Fang Ping. Fang Ping felt so wrong that he wanted to cry. This had nothing to do with him. Vice-Chancellor, it's Slice doing. I know. Huang Jing's expression was extremely ugly. As he flew toward Hope City, he gritted his teeth and said, You two scourges, something big has happened. At this moment, there were strong auras rising everywhere. Rank 9 auras, one after another, penetrated the entire Magic City catacombs. Pull one hair, and the whole body will move. The moment the 5 kings of 100 Beasts Forest showed their anger, the other places also reacted. In this kind of situation, a little carelessness could lead to a big war. The most important thing was, Hope City might be in chaos. Suddenly, dozens of rank 9 auras rose. How could they not panic when they sensed this change? At this moment, Huang Jing wanted to fly back immediately. If this matter was not cleared up, Sino Nation might be in a big mess. He glared at Fang Ping and Huang Jing again. These 2 bastards, if I enter the catacombs with you again, I will kill myself. Everything was fine, digging a small mine, and it turned out to be like this. Fang Ping felt wronged and said helplessly, It's not me, Vice-Chancellor. Don't look at me. It's all Qin Fengqing's random information. Who knew it would turn out like this? Also, I haven't gone to Monster Sunflower City yet. You still want to go to Monster Sunflower City? Huang Jing was terrified. If you went, it would be terrible. Vice-Chancellor, this has nothing to do with us. What are we afraid of? Fang Ping was very depressed. He did not know what the Jiao was doing, stirring up chaos in the catacombs. But this had nothing to do with them, right? Oh, right. Fang Ping's expression changed suddenly. The Jiao asked me to wait for it in the Jiao forest. Cough, cough, cough. At this moment, Qin Fengqing looked confused. He murmured, What did you do? Why did you meet the Jiao again? We're at Hedgehog Ridge, okay. Until now, he still had a confused look on his face. What was going on? Fang Ping said nothing. Huang Jing's expression changed drastically. He gritted his teeth and said, We can't go back. Monster Sunflower City's rank 9 force has erupted. We can't go there. Huang Jing looked around. His head was splitting. Behind him, The two rank 9 forces of pressure from 100 Beast Forest were moving toward them rapidly. In front, Monster Sunflower City was also erupting with force, a warning. On the right, powerhouses from the other cities also erupted with force. Only the left side, which was the south, did not have much movement. Go to the south. Huang Jing was helpless. He could only go through the southern coastal area and see if he could return to Hope City. This time, he was really screwed over by these two fellows. If he went back, and someone asked, what should he say? In the end, Qin Fengqing was still eager to see the world in chaos. He egged him on. Fong Ping, you're familiar with the Jiao. Let it bring the monsters to Monster Sunflower City. You take the opportunity to sneak in and steal the sunflower seeds. Get lost. Really, this is a rare opportunity. Fong Ping suddenly turned to look at Huang Jing and said, Vice-Chancellor, what's going on with that divine weapon? What? Is there any special aura? You mean? Huang Jing pondered for a moment, saying uncertainly, Maybe it's mixed with a little of Sky Gate City's Monster Woods aura. Monster Woods aura? Fong Ping suddenly thought of something. Was the Jiao making the monster wood a scapegoat? Suddenly, Fong Ping gritted his teeth and said quickly, Vice-Chancellor, let's go to the Jiao's forest and destroy it with the divine weapon. What? Huang Jing turned pale with fright. Were you crazy? Hurry, Vice-Chancellor, hurry. Are you sure? I'm sure. Fong Ping said, then added quickly, if we cooperate with the Jiao, it won't take revenge, right? Whatever, let's do it first. Huang Jing was completely stunned. Did they really have to do that? They were going to destroy the Jiao's lair. Vice-Chancellor, hurry. 100 Beast Forest rank 9 will probably stay in Hedgehog Ridge for a while. We still have time. If they get ahead of us, it'll be useless. Destroy the Jiao's forest? It's just cutting down trees. It's not that serious. Let's go. Fong Ping, don't do anything rash. It'll be fine. Fong Ping, Huang Jing's face was full of grief. I'm really going to die because of you. How do you expect an honest person like me to do something like this? Vice-Chancellor, the Jiao is making the monster with a scapegoat. Let's help it out. The Jiao is a monster after all. No matter how high its intelligence is, it can't think so much. The monster would left its lair in front of its house and came all the way here to kill it. Who would believe that? If we destroy the Jiao's forest, it'll be more like it. Huang Jing's head was splitting. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Vice-Chancellor, don't you want to avenge the old Vice-Chancellor? Fong Ping gritted his teeth. If we're going to do it, we'll do it big. How can Sky Gate City be destroyed? Even if we can't start a war this time and cause internal strife in the catacombs, at least let both sides be wary of each other. Huang Jing heard that and gritted his teeth. He nodded and said, all right, then let's go to the Jiao's forest. Fong Ping, if this affects Hope City, I don't need anyone else to kill you. At this point, he could only trust Fong Ping's judgment. At least this kid had survived the Jiao's hands a few times. If the Jiao wanted revenge after eradicating the Jiao's forest, it would probably look for Fong Ping, right? The opportunity was right in front of him. He would not be satisfied if he did not take the gamble. The powerhouses of Hope City dared not start a war. However, if the catacombs monsters and the city started a war, then it would have nothing to do with Hope City. At the same time, Hope City, Grandmaster-level powerhouses were all flying in the air, on high alert. At the entrance of the passageway, some people were walking out of the passageway, seeking support. The catacombs was in chaos. Dozens of rank 9 auras filled the air. The entire Magic City catacombs was in a state of tension. Sumafu made arrangements quickly and said with a headache, it can't be those two kids doing, right? I don't think so. Those two kids only attracted some low-rank monsters at most. At most, they killed a few rank 7 and 8 monsters. Right now, the entire catacombs is in chaos. Sumafu was about to explode. This was really troublesome. The entire Hope City had entered the highest state of alert. Was an all-out war going to break out? Sumafu looked at the surging auras in the distance, then at Hope City's only rank 9 powerhouse, Elder Fan. He felt a little bitter. Did they really have to wait for reinforcements to arrive? Su Mafu was deeply worried, and so were all the warriors in Hope City. They could all feel the pressure. The catacombs was in chaos. No one knew that this was the result of a rank 8 beast's immature behavior. When the heavily injured Jiao rushed to 100 Beast Forest to report that the emissary and guardian were killed, suspected to be the work of Monsterwood City's monster tree, the few kings of 100 Beast Forest were completely enraged. In the eyes of many monsters, guardian monster plants and monsters were traitors. However, these monsters and monster plants were not weak. Everyone minded their own business. Usually, there were no monsters and monster plants from the Forbidden Land looking for trouble. But now, the guardian of 100 Beast Forest was killed. This was the biggest provocation. Feeling the monsterwood aura coming from the golden-horned beast kings wound, the few kings were sure that this was the aura of the monsterwood in Monsterwood City. Moreover, it was not the aura of a branch. The aura was too strong. This could not be achieved by just taking a branch. The reactions of the kings of the Forbidden Lands were also beyond the Jiao's expectations. The kings immediately released their auras. 2 of them even moved out to investigate. The Jiao, who followed them, was also a little frightened. It seemed like things had gotten out of hand. It thought it would at most be suspicious. It did not expect the kings of the Forbidden Lands to immediately confirm that it was the work of the monsterwood. And from the looks of it, they were going to fight. However, the Jiao knew that this was just the aura of the monsterwood. It did not mean that it was the monsterwood who did it. Once they reached Monsterwood City and found out that a section of the main trunk had been cut off, they might be exposed. They could not give the silly tree and the Wood King a chance to explain. The Jiao, who was following the 2 kings to Hedgehog Ridge, had a plan. Once they reached Monsterwood City, they would do it without saying a word. They would tear down the city. The monsterwood would probably not explain, even if they were beaten to this state. As for the final outcome, it was none of the Jiao's business. Even if the kings of the Forbidden Lands broke through Monsterwood City, the probability of them staying was not high. They also had no use for the Fountain of Life and the Life Ores. As the only rank 8 who followed them, he should be able to take the opportunity to swallow those, right? At this moment, these people and monsters had their own plans. The war had not started. The Magic City catacombs, which had been peaceful for many days, had erupted into large-scale chaos on the first day Fong Ping entered. As for Fong Ping, he felt that this had nothing to do with him. This was entirely the doing of the Jiao. He just happened to be there. If Skygate City was really going to fight the Jiao or the 100 Beast Forest, he would try to see if there was a chance to reap some benefits. Perhaps he could really reap some benefits? Fong Ping was planning to reap some benefits. Qin Fengqing was calculating whether the benefits he had reaped were enough for him to liquefy his energy. Huang Jing, on the other hand, was running madly while silently telling himself that this was the only time. This was the only time. Next time, he would not enter the catacombs with these 2 fellows. He had never been so excited in his entire life, even when he had made it to rank 7. If this matter was really exposed, it would be more troublesome than Fong Ping imagined. He did not know how Wu Quishan had cut off the main trunk of the monsterwood. Skygate City probably knew that it was done by human martial artists. This could really trigger a war. When that time came, the only thing he could do was to bring the divine weapon deep into the catacombs instead of returning to Hope City. He could create chaos in the depths of the catacombs, or he could simply go to Skygate City and die in battle there. Only then could things be settled. Fong Ping probably had not thought of this yet. However, when he thought of the opportunity to make 100 Beast Forest and Skygate City go to war, Huang Jing still decided to take the gamble. Take the gamble. Use his own life. Bet that the 2 places would go to war. Even if a rank 9 died in battle, his death would be worth it. A rank 7 martial artist's life in exchange for a rank 9's life. It was a great deal. However, he still had to think carefully about how to not implicate the entire human race. Huang Jing sighed and glanced at Fong Ping. If he had Fong Ping's ability and hid his aura, he might really be able to easily start a war between the 2 places without attracting the attention of humans. Just as Huang Jing was thinking about this, Fang Ping suddenly said, "Vice Chancellor, after we destroy the Jiao's forest, give me the divine weapon. I'll bring it to Skygate City and try it out." Huang Jing was stunned for a moment. This kid, had he considered this too? No. If you go in, once the divine weapon's aura is exposed, you'll be discovered very quickly. It's okay, trust me. Fang Ping had a storage space. Unless he exposed it on his own, the monster would not be able to sense it. Chapter 440. Magic City Catacombs. The Rank 9 suppressive force swept across thousands of miles. Far away, Imperial Sea Hill. One after another, extremely powerful powerhouses revealed some of their auras, intimidating Imperial Sea Hill into silence. The masters of these powerful auras did not move, but they cast their gaze toward the 7 Southern Territory. What was happening in the 7 Southern Territory? Imperial Sea Hill, Forbidden Canyon. An energy passageway that looked like a catacombs passageway opened slowly. After a while, a few silhouettes soared into the sky, flying toward 100 Beast Forest. The Rank 9 suppressive force originated from 100 Beast Forest. What was happening in 100 Beast Forest, and what was it trying to do? In the depths of Imperial Sea Hill, a few sky-shaking silhouettes did not move, nor did they stop them. The suppressive force that rose for no reason in the 7 Southern Territory should have nothing to do with Hope City. There were no powerhouses in Hope City, so it would not cause a chain reaction. It was not the time for both sides to go to war yet. The catfish effect was vividly reflected at this moment. First, it was 100 Beast Forest, followed by a few nearby cities. Very soon, this demonstration of intimidation spread to the entire 7 Southern Territory. There were movements in the 13 catacomb cities. In the west, in the sky above Monster Phoenix City, a gigantic phoenix-like monster covered the sky with its wings, letting out a cry that echoed for hundreds of miles. Further west of Monster Phoenix City, a monster that looked like a white tiger roared at the sky, shaking the heavens and the earth. In the 10,000 Ants Desert, golden yellow sand rose. A sandstorm swept across the entire desert, a few silhouettes intimidating in all directions. Powerful mentality fluctuations spread throughout the catacombs. Were they going to war? Many powerhouses had this thought. Who were they going to war with this time? At Imperial Sea Hill, after the passageway opened and the few Rank 9s left, the sky-shaking silhouettes disappeared. As soon as they disappeared, more than 10 extremely powerful auras rose in this quiet and huge mountain range. Imperial Sea Hill was known as the Second Forbidden Land, second only to the Forbidden Sea. How could there be no powerhouses? Hope City. In midair, an old man with snow-white hair looked extremely solemn. What's going on? Old Fan had many thoughts in his mind. Right now, he was extremely worried. The reinforcements from China would not arrive so quickly. Even if the powerhouses near Shanghai arrived, there were too many powerhouses who had been affected this time. At this moment, all the major cities, the Forbidden Lands, as well as some uninhabited mountain ranges and jungles had Rank 9 auras rising, intimidating all directions. The entire Magic City catacombs had attracted close to 30 Rank 9s. This did not even include the powerhouses in the depths of Mount Royal Sea. If they were included, it would be equivalent to the total number of Sino Nation Rank 9s. Was it only in Magic City, or in all the catacombs? At this moment, even a Rank 7 or 8 powerhouse did not have the qualifications or ability to release pressure to compete with these top-notch powerhouses. Tian Mu, Ko Bianjiang, and the other experts around Senior Fan wore extremely gloomy expressions. Recently, Magic City's catacombs had finally enjoyed a period of peace and quiet. Why did something happen again? Moreover, every time something happened, it was a big deal. 300 miles away from Hope City, Fang Ping urged, "Vice Chancellor, hurry up. It's almost too late." In the distance, 2 Rank 9 auras from Hedgehog Ridge were flying in the direction of the battle between Jiao and the Rank 8 Hedgehog Beast. Obviously, they were continuing to investigate. Once these places were investigated, the other party might rush to Skygate City soon. At that time, if they had not completed their assistance, Fong Ping was worried that the humans would be the scapegoat. Who would believe that Jiao was the one who did this? Even Fong Ping would not believe it if word got out. As for whether these catacombs monsters would believe it or not, who knew? Huang Jing's head was already sweating. He panted, "Qin Fengqing, what are you carrying? It's too heavy." Qin Fengqing laughed dryly. Nothing, just some worthless metal." Fong Ping glanced at him and frowned. "Where did you go earlier?" Cough. "Nowhere. I looked around and found a small metal mine. I dug some raw ores. Some metal ores were valuable, some were not, but they were usually not too expensive. Compared to energy ores, the difference was huge." Fong Ping was suspicious. He suddenly said, "Did you notice that the rank 8 monster suddenly flew away?" "What?" Qin Fengqing looked confused. "What did you say?" Of course, he saw the rank 8 monster flying away, but could he say it? Could he tell Fong Ping that he went to the monster's lair? Could he tell Fong Ping that there were many good things in the lair? Could he tell Fong Ping that even if he did not have that energy mine, it would not be a problem for him to enter rank 5? Not only would it not be a problem, but he was also prepared to exchange for a large number of energy ores to carry out energy liquefaction and swim in liquefied energy. Could he tell Fong Ping about this? Obviously not. Qin Fengqing said hurriedly, "Right? How's the mining going?" Fong Ping looked at him suspiciously. After a while, he said, "I hit it first. I dug a little. I'll go look for it when the catacombs are quiet." F***CK? You didn't bring it back? Qin Fengqing was speechless. This guy was too careless. If he encountered something good, even if he died, he would bring it back first. Who knew what would happen next? Huang Jing said with some regret. Not only the energy mine, but the 2 rank 7 monster corpses couldn't be brought back. The other one, I don't know if the Jiao swallowed it. And the rank 8 monster too. What a pity. It was really a pity. This time, 3 high-ranked demonic beasts and 1 rank 8 were killed. If he could bring it back, Huang Jing felt that dying would be worth it. 3 divine weapons. He had never seen something like this happen. It was really rare to see a situation where the core of the brain and heart were intact. He killed the rank 7 monster instantly. The other party did not have the time. The Pekingese did not expect the Jiao to kill it. The rank 8 hedgehog beast did not think that it would self-destruct. It was not much weaker than the Jiao, so it had a chance to escape. 3 high-ranked monsters died in one battle. This situation was too rare. It was a pity that he did not bring any of them. Fong Ping coughed dryly and smiled. I've discussed it with Jiao. It didn't eat the rank 7 hedgehog beast, but it took it away. I'll go ask later and see if it can be given to me." Huang Jing suddenly fell silent. He did not know what to say. Qin Fengqing's eyes were spinning wildly. Was this even possible? After flying for a while, Huang Jing suddenly threw Qin Fengqing out and scolded, "You think of a way to get back to the city. We're leaving first." This guy was too heavy. He was only a rank 7. Carrying Qin Fengqing on his back while hurrying on like crazy was really taxing. Vice-Chancellor Qin Fengqing, who was left behind, looked indignant. He was left behind just like that? They were not there yet. If there was a big battle in Skygate City later, he might be able to reap some benefits. Now that he was left behind, where could he reap any benefits? Qin Fengqing chased after him crazily. Fong Ping turned his head and smiled. "Give it to me. I'll help you find a place to hide it. We'll split the profits later. Get lost." Qin Fengqing scolded. Dream on? Even if he died of exhaustion, he would not split the profits with Fong Ping. If Huang Jing did not bring him along, no problem. He would run on his own. The next moment, Qin Fengqing landed on the ground directly. Carrying the big sack, he sprinted toward the direction of Skygate City. This guy was extremely fast. Although he was slightly slower than Huang Jing was also restraining his aura to avoid being detected by a rank 9. His speed was not much faster than the other party. Huang Jing looked at Qin Fengqing, who was carrying the heavy sack and running so fast. He felt a little embarrassed. Before he could say anything, Fong Ping said, "Vice-Chancellor, you're restraining your aura. You're running a little slow. How about this? You grab me. I'll bring you and run. Huang Jing was stunned. What was he talking about? Before he could understand, the golden light in Fong Ping's bones flickered faintly. Then, with a low growl, he grabbed Huang Jing and shot out. Rank 7 Huang Jing dared not go all out. It was easy to attract attention. Rank 5 Fong Ping restrained his aura and sprinted at full speed. His speed was actually not slower than Huang Jing, who restrained his aura. Huang Jing, who was caught, suddenly felt a little sad and self-doubtful. I was a rank 7. Why was it like this? Rank for Qin Fengqing's speed was slower than his, but that kid was fearless and was running wildly below. Rank 5 Fong Ping's speed was actually slower than his, but he dared not go all out. The vitality force that he erupted was too strong. At this moment, it was somewhat eye-catching. In the end, Fong Ping, who had no aura, ran slightly faster than him. Moreover, he was not the kind that was burdened, so he was not afraid of being discovered. Huang Jing was really starting to doubt his life. After being grabbed by Fong Ping and running for a while, Huang Jing suddenly said, "We're going in the wrong direction." Fong Ping said without turning his head, "I know. We're taking a shortcut. There's also an entrance to the Jiao's forest in Monster Sunflower City." Huang Jing was speechless. This kid was really daring. Half an hour or so later, Fong Ping reached the entrance of the Jiao's forest in the direction of Monster Sunflower City. At this moment, in the sky above Monster Sunflower City, an extremely huge sunflower was swaying in the air. Looking at the sunflower, the golden stem was especially dazzling. In the sunflower dish, there seemed to be some golden sunflower seeds. Fong Ping felt like snatching it away. Huang Jing, on the other hand, was as careful as he could be. He had completely concealed his aura. Although he could not hide from them at close range, these rank 9 martial artists were all on guard against other rank 9 martial artists. They would not purposely investigate a mere rank 7 martial artist like him. Huang Jing was getting more and more excited. The feeling of rushing to the entrance of someone else's city was really exciting. Watching as a rank 9 martial artist unleashed his aura nearby, and he was still wandering right under their noses, was this not exciting enough? At this moment, if he was discovered, he might be killed in a flash. Huang Jing's heartbeat was much more obvious. Fong Ping, on the other hand, did not pay much attention to it. He glanced at the sunflower, then quickly rushed into the Jiao's forest. Huang Jing breathed a sigh of relief and shot a glance at Fong Ping. "How dare you?" Fong Ping, on the other hand, ignored him. As he ran, he said, "The Jiao's forest covers a very large area. It's very difficult to destroy completely, and it'll be easily noticed by others. Later, we'll attack directly in the core area and flatten it." Having said that, Fong Ping added, "After that, Vice-Chancellor, you can return to Hope City. Just leave the divine weapon to me." Fong Ping, Huang Jing did not know what to say. After a while, he sighed and said, "Be careful then. Don't worry. It won't be difficult to enter Monsterwood City in the chaos." Although he said that the more chaotic it was, the stricter the city's security would be. If he was discovered, Fong Ping, who was only a rank 5, would be discovered if he was even slightly careless when a rank 9 was awakening. If a rank 9 attacked him within the attack range, it would be an instant kill. Huang Jing wanted to say something, but in the end, it turned into a sigh. Fong Ping was more suitable to step up than him. At least it would not be that easy for him to stir up chaos. Instead, it would be easier for humans to be viewed as enemies and cause chaos. In silence, Fong Ping sprinted all the way to the core area of the Jiao's forest. The entire Jiao's forest was also extremely quiet. The Jiao was a lone traveler. There were very few monsters in its lair. Most of them had been eaten by it. The Jiao rarely went out to hunt. The monsters in this area all knew that the golden-horned beast king of the Jiao's forest was not a good thing. It did not even want the monsters guarding the gate. If they caught them, they would eat them. Even the low and mid-rank monsters that did not have much intelligence knew that the Jiao's forest was a dangerous place. It was even more dangerous than a few of the major forbidden areas. This was also why, without the Jiao, Fong Ping did not even see any monsters blocking his way as he sprinted. After a while, Fong Ping arrived at an empty space. This was also the place where he saw the Jiao earlier. Fong Ping stopped, took a deep breath, and said, "Vice Chancellor, let's do it." "Hurry up." Huang Jing glanced into the distance. That was the exit of Skygate City. At this moment, Skygate City also had a force of suppression in the air, but it was not two. The monster did not release its force of suppression. Huang Jing did not say much. The golden short sword appeared in front of him instantly. In the next moment, the short sword shot out, exploding with a powerful destructive force. In an instant, the surrounding trees were chopped down. Within a radius of tens of meters, all the trees exploded. Huang Jing's movements were extremely fast. The short sword was like a slithering snake, wandering through the entire forest. Everywhere it went, it was cleared. In the blink of an eye, within a radius of 1,000 meters, all the trees were chopped down and exploded. The commotion was getting a little too big. Skygate City seemed to have sensed something. However, at this moment, the Lord of Skygate City did not have the time to care about what was happening in the Jiao's forest. That was not his territory. Not only Skygate City, but Hope City had also sensed some changes. However, everyone's thoughts were the same. At this time, a rank 9 should not be moved lightly. A little carelessness could cause chaos. Whether it was Skygate City or Hope City, they were both the weaker side at this moment. They dared not act rashly. As for what exactly happened, everyone still did not know. However, in the east, 2 rank 9 forces of suppression mixed with anger were getting closer and closer. If they had not been delayed by a few other cities along the way, they might have arrived here by now. The 2 kings of the Forbidden Lands in 100 Beast Forest had completed their investigation. The rank 8 guardian had been confirmed to have been killed, leaving behind some golden skeletons that had not yet been destroyed. The scars on the skeletons, mixed with the monsterwood aura, were extremely dense. At this moment, the 2 kings of the Forbidden Lands were flying toward Monsterwood City with the Jiao, demanding an explanation. However, as they passed by a few cities, even the 2 kings of the Forbidden Lands had to offer a few words of explanation to avoid unnecessary trouble. Therefore, although the kings were fast, they were still delayed and had yet to arrive here. In addition, there was still the burden of the Jiao, so their speed was even slower. Just as the Jiao and the 2 kings of the Monster Kingdom arrived, Huang Jing had already controlled the short sword, flattening the area within a radius of a few thousand meters. The huge Jiao's forest seemed to have become bald. A huge barren area appeared in the middle of the forest. At this moment, Huang Jing had also reached his limit. The injuries from the previous battle had not fully healed yet. Fong Ping, on the other hand, had gotten the short sword. He did not allow Huang Jing to continue destroying it. He asked quickly, "Vice Chancellor, how can I make the short sword release a stronger aura? I don't think I can control it. I can only use it as a normal weapon. It's very difficult to control a divine weapon that isn't owned by the owner unless it's been nurtured for many years. I could release a full force attack earlier because the short sword contained a large amount of the owner's mentality and celestiality." Huang Jing gave a simple explanation and continued, "If you want to release a stronger aura, pour in more celestiality and mentality. Then you'll be able to detonate it." As he said that, Huang Jing said in a low voice, "Fong Ping, if you can't do it, remember to save yourself." At this moment, he no longer tried to persuade Fong Ping not to go to Skygate City. He could only pray that nothing bad would happen to Fong Ping. Once a battle that involved a rank 9 like this broke out, Fong Ping might not be able to escape unscathed. "Vice Chancellor, don't worry. You should go back first." Fong Ping had already felt 2 powerful forces moving toward him from afar. He exhaled and said, "Don't talk about me when you go back, lest it causes trouble." Huang Jing nodded slightly, looking into the distance. They were getting closer and closer. He had to go. "I'll leave first then." Huang Jing said no more and quickly chose to leave. As he left, he thought of Qin Fengqing again. Did that kid go back to Hope City or follow him here? Don't be reckless. Fong Ping could not be bothered with Qin Fengqing. After obtaining the divine weapon, he ran all the way towards Sky Gate City. As he ran, he used the divine weapon to cut down the trees in the area he passed by. At that moment, a clear passageway appeared in the forest between the Jiao's forest and Sky Gate City. When he arrived near Sky Gate City, Fong Ping's movements came to a halt. Then he quickly took out a shovel and began to dig a tunnel. He dared not go there openly. At this moment at Sky Gate City, there were countless powerhouses patrolling in the air. The rank 9 Sky Gate City Lord's aura had reached its peak. 2 rank 9 auras were approaching Sky Gate City. The Lord of Sky Gate City didn't know if the other party was just passing by or what, but in any case, he had to be vigilant at this time. Although the Forbidden Land and Royal City hadn't fought for a long time, it wasn't that there hadn't been any conflicts between them. Who knew what was going on? While Fong Ping was digging the tunnel, the Sky Gate City Lord was on high alert. Xiao, who had come with the 2 kings of the Forbidden Lands to demand an explanation, was also thinking about how to directly go up and fight. Would the king of the Forbidden Lands stop him if he went up? Once the silly blockhead and the Wood King explained everything clearly, then he would have worked for nothing. At that time, they might even suspect that he had disloyal intentions. If the fact that he had killed the messenger and the guardian was exposed, then he would be done for. Xiao was also very anxious. This matter could not withstand a detailed investigation. It had not digested the guardian's immortal essence yet, so the king of the Forbidden Lands did not investigate its situation in detail. Otherwise, it would be easily discovered. Xiao was starting to get anxious. With this kind of anxiety, when Xiao neared its lair, it suddenly sped up, appearing a little irritable. It seemed to feel that something was wrong. Its territory seemed to have been invaded. When they reached its Jiao's forest, Jiao suddenly roared at the sky. Its lair had been destroyed. It had painstakingly planted trees for 100 years, but countless of them had been cut down. Roar! Jiao was completely enraged. A figure flashed in its huge head, but it did not have time to think too much. At this moment, the opportunity had come. Its lair had been destroyed. What was there to talk about? It would just go up and fight. The next moment, Jiao could not care about the 2 kings anymore. With a flash of golden light, it roared and flew toward Monsterwood City. It's you. The 2 huge monsters following behind also saw the situation in Jiao's forest. Before they had time to investigate, they saw the golden-horned beast king already charging toward Monsterwood City. The 2 demonic beasts growled in a low voice and quickly followed behind. Monsterwood City had to give them an explanation for this. Just as they were still thinking of an explanation, Jiao, who had shot forward, approached Monsterwood City in the blink of an eye. The Lord of Sky Gate City also arrived at the city gate, his expression extremely ugly. The golden-horned beast king had come in a menacing manner, and it had even brought 2 kings of the Forbidden Lands with it. What did it want? The Lord of Sky Gate City was still calculating what was going on, and what the pros and cons were. Jiao was already roaring from afar. It had no intention of communicating at all. On its giant golden horn, a surge of heaven and earth power, which had long been prepared, shot toward Monsterwood City's city gate like a giant pillar. How dare you? An angry roar reverberated through heaven and earth. Chapter 441. Cunning didn't care if he was angry or not. He would just do it. A huge pillar of heaven and earth power instantly reached the city gate. The Lord of Sky Gate City was infuriated to the extreme. He made his move in an instant, and a wave of heaven and earth power shot out, blocking the Jiao's attack. At this moment, he was still hesitating. Looking at the 2 demonic beasts behind him, he didn't dare to make a move against the Jiao. This slight hesitation gave Jiao a chance. Just as the Lord of Sky Gate City blocked the first attack, a few more beams of heaven and earth power shot out from the Jiao's golden horn. Boom! There was a loud explosion. This time, the Jiao did not attack the city gate. Instead, it spread out, and some of the surrounding walls were instantly blasted to pieces. That was not all. The Jiao's spiritual power suddenly exploded, and some of the armored soldiers at the city gate were instantly turned into meat paste. "You're courting death." The Lord of Sky Gate City, who had been a little hesitant, was now completely enraged. A king could not be insulted. The Golden Horn Beast King had already come knocking on their door. If this matter were to pass, Monsterwood City would no longer have a foothold in the 7 southern regions. The next moment, the void in front of the Sky Gate City Lord shook, and an invisible wave instantly attacked the Jiao. The Jiao had no intention of fighting him at all. With a roar, its body suddenly expanded. In the blink of an eye, the Jiao, which was originally the size of a Tier 7 hedgehog beast, suddenly swelled to several times its original size. Its head and tail were more than 10 meters long. The moment his body expanded, Cunning let out a roar and directly crashed into the Sky Gate City Lord. Boom! Another loud sound rang out. Behind him, the 2 huge demonic beasts growled a few times. However, the Jiao did not care and began to howl mournfully. His house had already been raided, so what was there to care about? Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions rang out. The Jiao had no qualms about exchanging blows with the Sky Gate City Lord several times, and the city wall at the city gate instantly collapsed. Some of the people in Sky Gate City who were below the high ranks were almost instantly affected by the aftershocks and killed. "You're courting death." The Lord of Sky Gate City was furious. He could no longer endure it. At this moment, there were no longer invisible waves of mind energy in front of the Sky Gate City Lord. Instead, a towering tree materialized out of thin air. As soon as the giant tree appeared, countless branches whipped towards the Jiao. Some of the branches started to bind the Jiao. Inside the city, in the center of the inner city, a towering tree that seemed to have been dead silent before was also swaying slightly at this moment. Spiritual energy waves were rapidly transmitted from afar. The spiritual energy was mixed with anger, as if it was questioning something. Behind the Jiao, the 2 large rank 9 beasts were also recovering their mentality. Seeing that the 2 sides were about to negotiate, the Jiao panicked. Roar! A loud roar cut through all the psychic waves, and in the next moment, the Jiao's horn exploded with a brilliant golden light. Roar! Behind him, the 2 giant beasts also roared. The Golden Horn Beast King was going to risk its life. It was normal for rank 8 powerhouses to fight with celestiality. Once the imperishable substance erupted, it would be a battle to the death. The Sky Gate City Lord had originally been waiting for the results of the negotiations between the 2 sides. He did not want to see the 100 Beast Forest start a war without any clear reason. Who knew that even though he wanted to go easy on the Jiao would not. The instant the imperishable golden substance erupted, the countless illusory and real branches suddenly shattered, and wisps of energy dissipated between heaven and earth. This was not enough. It was not time for the Jiao to risk its life. The Jiao's imperishable substance erupted, and in the next moment, it charged out of the Sky Gate City Lord's line of defense, and in an instant, it was above the city. Its mentality was fully unleashed, and pillars of golden energy exploded like thunder in the city. "King, save me! Wood King!" The weaker Sky Gate City people died instantly, and the stronger martial artists bled from their orifices, howling in pain. "Bastard!" The Sky Gate City Lord's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He roared, "Divine would kill it!" Before he finished speaking, the Sky Gate City Lord broke through the void, appearing in front of the Jiao in an instant, and slammed his palm down. The Jiao's golden armor exploded with a brilliant light, and it roared, not to the Sky Gate City Lord, but to the 2 rank 9 beasts who were still waiting behind. If anyone understood the language of the beasts, they would understand that the Jiao was asking if the 100 Beast Forest had fallen to the point where anyone could kill as they pleased. The emissary was killed, the guards were killed, the Jiao was attacked, and its home was raided. What was it waiting for now? Was the 100 Beast Forest still the demon's territory? These traitors had already come to their doorstep. What were they waiting for? Were they waiting for all the demons to be killed? The Jiao's furious roars made the 2 beasts tremble continuously. The next moment, The two beasts suddenly moved when they saw the Sky Gate City Lord crack the giant golden horn with a palm strike. One of the beasts, shaped like a giant crocodile, swept its giant tail toward the Sky Gate City Lord. Before the giant tail reached him, the buildings below collapsed instantly. Countless residents died instantly, not even having the chance to scream. The Sky Gate City Lord was furious. Without mercy, he slammed his palm across the air. The void trembled, the earth cracked, and countless buildings collapsed. The ground below caved in, and even the energy mineral veins became clearly visible. In the center of the city, the towering trees mentality fluctuated violently. The other lion-like beast also roared, questioning the Sky Gate City Lord. The towering trees mentality fluctuated continuously, as if trying to explain something. Monsterwood City was not willing to start a war with the Forbidden Land, especially when the battlefield was in Monsterwood City. If they continued fighting, Monsterwood City would be destroyed. At this moment, the Sky Gate City Lord was already fighting the giant crocodile. Under the battle between two rank 9 powerhouses, the giant crocodile had no scruples. Under the aftershock, thousands of city guards and martial artists within a radius of 1,000 meters were almost defenseless. Their flesh and blood exploded, and they died tragically. As for the Jiao, it was also fighting with a few high-rank powerhouses from Skygate City. Even if the rank 8 Golden Body Jiao injured itself all over, its combat strength was still extremely strong. Right now, it was facing a rank 8 and a few rank 7s. Under full outburst, it suppressed them all the way to the depths of the city. As for the silly Wood who was explaining, the Jiao was also helpless. It could not stop it. It could only fight first. It would rush to the central area and fight with the silly Wood. Who knows, they might start fighting. By then, it would be useless to explain. Just as the two sides fought until the void trembled, the buildings collapsed, and the earth cracked, Fong Ping had already taken the opportunity to dig a hole into the city. At this moment, Fong Ping also felt an immense pressure. In the sky, the two rank 9 powerhouses were fighting. A few other rank 7 and 8 martial artists were also fighting with the Jiao. The aftershock shook and countless people died. If Fong Ping's mentality was not strong enough, he suspected that he would have been killed by the aftershock. Too strong. Fong Ping was shocked. No wonder humans dared not let the catacombs powerhouses rush out, no matter how big the price was. Right now, the two rank 9 powerhouses were not necessarily fighting to the death. In fact, the Sky Gate City Lord was actually protecting Sky Gate City. Under such circumstances, within a radius of 1,000 meters, except for a few top-notch middle-rank powerhouses, almost everyone else was dead. This is not a fight to the death. Once on the ground, under the rank 9 fight to the death, fighting and running at the same time, how many people will die? Fong Ping shuddered a little. Even a martial artist like him felt immense pressure when faced with the aftershock of the battle between the two sides. He was worried that he might be killed. Those ordinary people would probably become minced meat in an instant. In a large city with a radius of a few thousand meters, if it was crowded, there might be tens of thousands of people. When both sides fought, the aftershock could kill all of them in an instant. After finding a place slightly closer to the inner city, Fong Ping carefully hid beside a collapsed building. He felt a headache coming on. What should he do now? The big tree in the center of the city seemed to be negotiating with the lion. He did not understand how the two sides negotiated. There was no sound either. The big tree and the lion seemed to be communicating with mentality. Fong Ping did not know when the negotiation would end. What should I do? How do I trigger the two sides to continue fighting? Fong Ping glanced at the Jiao not far away from him. At this moment, the Jiao was also fighting with its life on the line. It was fighting with all its might, forcing a few rank 7 and 8 powerhouses to retreat continuously. Fong Ping saw that it seemed to want to rush to the center of the city. Could it be that rushing to the center of the city was enough? Fong Ping could not hear the big tree and the lion's negotiation, but the Jiao could. As the big tree's mentality fluctuated continuously, the lion suddenly looked at the Jiao, a fierce glint in its giant eyes. The Jiao roared angrily. It was the monster tree. In the next moment, the Jiao suddenly cracked its flesh. Visible wounds and cracks appeared on its body. The monster tree's aura was strong. The lion looked at the giant tree in the center of the city again. The fierce glint in its giant eyes appeared again. This aura could not be faked. Did the monster tree attack the Golden Horned Beast King? The Sky Gate City Lord, who was fighting with the giant alligator, saw this scene and roared suddenly. "Stop it, all of you! Crocodile King, Lion King, it's all a misunderstanding." The Sky Gate City Lord did not use mentality to negotiate. Instead, he used the catacombs language. At this moment, the Sky Gate City Lord was furious. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw the collapsed buildings in the city and the cracked ground. A fierce glint flashed in his eyes. He roared, "The divine tree has not left the city. It has not left the city. The Golden Horned Beast King's injuries have the remnants of the divine tree's aura. But it was not the divine tree's doing." Roar! Before the two Beast Kings could speak, the Jiao's ferocious nature exploded. It suddenly attacked. No, open its mouth. It opened its mouth wide, and a huge black hole appeared in an instant. It swallowed a level 7 martial artist who was fighting with it in one gulp. "Bastard Golden Horn Beast, you have a death wish." The Sky Gate City Lord was so angry that he was about to vomit blood. He slapped his palm in the air. His palm instantly became countless times bigger. In the blink of an eye, his palm covered the sky and the earth, falling toward the Jiao. The Jiao roared violently. Its whole body shone with golden light, but it did not take the attack head-on. Instead, it quickly rushed into the ranks of the Sky Gate City high-ranked martial artists. Its body suddenly shrank, returning to its original size. The giant palm kept chasing. The high-ranked martial artists hurriedly retreated. At this moment, the giant crocodile swept its tail, smashing the giant palm into pieces. The Sky Gate City Lord said angrily, "Let him go." Nowadays, there were not many high-rank martial artists in the city. Another rank 7 commander had been swallowed. This was something he could not tolerate. The death of other middle and low-rank martial artists did not affect him much. Even if he was a rank 9, he could not bear the loss of a high-rank martial artist. The Jiao ignored him. Its huge stomach squirmed. After a while, the Jiao spat out a skeleton that was almost inhuman. Boom! The Sky Gate City Lord was furious. Celestiality intertwined in midair, like thunder. He no longer cared if a great battle would break out. His figure pierced through the void and suddenly appeared in front of the Jiao. His palms quickly slapped down. Boom! The sound was heard again. The Jiao flew hundreds of meters backward, crashing into countless buildings along the way. Its golden flesh cracked continuously, blood splattering across the void. Seeing this, the two monster kings flew into a rage. The Sky Gate City Lord did not chase after the Jiao. Instead, he shouted loudly, "Are you two beast kings trying to start a war between the kings?" The golden horned beast's injuries were not caused by the divine tree. The lion beast roared a few times. A golden skeleton suddenly appeared in its hand. The Sky Gate City Lord's eyes were dark. He said angrily, "The Forbidden Land Guards were not killed by the divine tree. The divine tree has been healing all this time. 3 years ago, the land of rebirth powerhouses ambushed Monsterwood City. The divine tree was not paying attention and was injured. This mark was caused by the land of rebirth powerhouses' divine weapon." As soon as he finished speaking, the Jiao, who was flying backward, suddenly let out a shrill cry. The next moment, its huge golden head was almost chopped off. A golden ray flashed. At the same time, the tree in the center of the city suddenly trembled. Then, the tree uprooted itself from the ground. No longer caring if it would cause damage, it attacked at high speed. The Jiao roared mournfully and slammed its 4 claws on the ground. The ground cracked again and collapsed completely. With a few fierce roars, the Jiao quickly flew backward toward the two beast kings, still roaring incessantly. The Sky Gate City Lord's expression was extremely gloomy. With a furious roar, he struck with his palm. It was not aimed at the Jiao, but at the boundary where the Jiao was previously attacked. Boom! An incomparably huge pit appeared. Countless low-grade energy stones were blasted out, but no one paid attention to it. The two Beast King's huge eyes were bloodshot. Someone had attacked the Golden Horned Beast King right in front of them. Moreover, they had guessed that the Golden Ray earlier was the weapon that had attacked the guards and the Golden Horned Beast King. The Lion Beast wanted to ask more questions, but the giant crocodile was completely enraged. Would the land of rebirth powerhouses appear in Monsterwood City? If even Monsterwood City had been invaded, then Monsterwood City would have been destroyed long ago. How could it have fought the land of rebirth for so many years? During the ambush, just now, even they did not feel any fluctuations. Because there were no strong energy fluctuations, they did not know how strong the attacker was. However, the rank 8 Golden Horned Beast King had its golden body broken directly, and its head was almost chopped off. This was definitely not something an ordinary rank 8 could do. There was still a king-level powerhouse hiding in the dark. If a king-level powerhouse appeared in Monsterwood City, unless the monster would have Monsterwood City helped to hide, there was no way he could hide from them. Would the monster would help the land of rebirth powerhouses hide? Or was there some shameful secret that they did not know? At this moment, no one, not even the demons, noticed that the Jiao's huge eyes revealed a hint of surprise. The chef was actually here, but he was really weak. If it had not let go of all its defenses, it would not have been able to stab in. The Jiao was surprised. Fong Ping, who had already sneaked into the mine, was scared. That was so dangerous. Besides, the Jiao was really King cunning. As soon as the short sword appeared, that fellow let go of its defenses, and its head was chopped off until it was bloody. Fong Ping felt that he did not have the ability to do that. That fellow did it on its own. You'd be happy if I really chopped off your head, Fong Ping complained in his heart. He moved forward cautiously, keeping the short sword in his storage space. At this moment, it was already a mess outside. The monster would sense the aura of its main trunk. It rose from the ground and rushed over. The two Beast Kings were completely enraged because the Jiao was almost killed. They could not care less about explaining to the other party. They were already fighting the Sky Gate City Lord. This also had something to do with the Jiao. The fellow retreated, looking extremely aggrieved. It had an attitude of wanting revenge, even if it had to risk its life. It charged straight at the Sky Gate City Lord, refusing to retreat even when its whole body was torn apart. At this time, the two Beast Kings could no longer sit by and watch. They had brought the Golden Horned Beast King to seek justice. In the end, the Golden Horned Beast King was almost killed in front of them. This was the greatest humiliation to them. As for the person who had attacked the Golden Horned Beast King, he had suddenly disappeared. The two Beast Kings believed that the monster would have helped the other party hide his aura. Perhaps he wanted them to stay more vigilant. The two beasts did not plan to look for him. Together with the person in the dark, the Monsterwood City had 3 Beast Kings. Perhaps they needed help. The Sky Gate City Lord wanted to look for him. At this moment, he was extremely aggrieved. He wanted nothing more than to capture the murderer immediately and prove his innocence. However, he was entangled with the Jiao. The other party refused to retreat. The two Beast Kings did not listen to his explanation either. They began to attack with all their might. His ability was slightly weaker than the two Beast Kings. At this moment, he no longer had the strength to explain anything. Who is it? The Sky Gate City Lord was furious, but he was also a little confused. Why would another powerhouse suddenly appear in the city? He had almost killed the rank 8 Golden Horned Beast King in one move. He must be extremely powerful. Where did this powerhouse come from? Also, the weapon that suddenly appeared earlier was clearly mixed with the Divine Wood's aura. It must have something to do with the Divine Wood's main trunk that was cut off 3 years ago. The person who broke into the city 3 years ago was actually not in the city at that time. He only found out later that it was a powerhouse from the land of rebirth who attacked. However, at this moment, even he had doubts. Had the Divine Wood's main trunk really been cut off by a powerhouse from the Land of Rebirth? He and the Divine Wood were only partners. They were not completely integrated. Was the Divine Wood hiding something? At this moment, the Skygate City Lord only felt that he had fallen into a huge trap and darkness. What was going on? Monster Sunflower City? Or does the Divine Wood have its own thoughts? Monsterwood City's ability has been continuously damaged. Is it really just an accident? As he resisted the attacks of the two Beast Kings with difficulty, all kinds of conspiracies and schemes kept appearing in the Skygate City Lord's mind. At one point, he even thought of the restricted area. Today, it was obvious that someone was framing him in Monsterwood City. However, time was too short. Moreover, he was entangled by the two Beast Kings. He had no time to think carefully. A gloomy look flashed in his eyes. When he saw that the Divine Wood was only looking for the thief from earlier instead of helping him out, a large number of buildings in the city collapsed. Countless people died a violent death. At this moment, the Skygate City Lord could no longer tolerate it. He had been bullied to this extent. If he continued to tolerate it, someone would dare to replace him tomorrow. For so many years, Monsterwood City had sent a large number of genius seeds to the restricted area. He had also made arrangements in the restricted area. Had he violated the interests of some people? You forced me to do this, he growled in his heart. The Skygate City Lord no longer cared about the people in the city. If this went on, he might die. If his people died, he could just abandon Monsterwood City and move to another place. He could still continue to be the king. Just as these thoughts appeared in his mind, the giant tree shadow in front of the Skygate City Lord suddenly collapsed. In the blink of an eye, a divine weapon in the shape of a giant axe was instantly grabbed by the Skygate City Lord. Kagu! The Skygate City Lord roared. The giant axe slashed out violently. The void trembled, and the sound of an explosion rang throughout the world. Bang! A loud noise was heard. A giant golden blood column suddenly shot out from the giant crocodile's tail. The giant axe shadow covered the sky and the sun. Its aura was extremely powerful. The two Beast Kings were in disbelief. The towering tree in the distance also trembled slightly. They could no longer care about looking for the thief who had carried part of its body. The Wood King had condensed a divine weapon used by the Land of Rebirth powerhouses. It was not that the Catacombs powerhouses did not use weapons, but they did not use the so-called divine weapons of the Land of Rebirth. Divine weapons required the heart and brain cores of monsters or monster plants. This was a big taboo in the Catacombs. The Catacombs powerhouses would not take the risk of starting a war with monsters or monster plants to condense a divine weapon. In addition to the existence of guardian monsters and monster plants, it did not matter if they were middle or low-ranked monsters. High-ranked monsters and monster plants could not be killed indiscriminately. This was a violation of the interests of monsters and monster plants. At this moment, the disbelief in the two Beast Kings' eyes turned into incomparable anger. The Wood King had killed high-ranked monsters before. No matter where the monsters came from, they were all their compatriots. But now, they had become divine weapons. The Land of Rebirth and the Catacombs were enemies. It was understandable that the two would kill each other. The Forbidden Lands did not want to get involved. Most of the divine weapons used by the Land of Rebirth martial artists came from the battleground, including some guardian monsters and monster plants. However, no matter where the Wood King's divine weapon came from, it was a sin. Roar! Roar! Two oppressive forces pierced through heaven and earth, covering the whole city in an instant. At this moment, countless Catacombs humans died instantly. The Jiao dodged a few of them, slightly frightened. The Wood King had this? Did that not mean if it really invaded and angered the other party, it would really be killed quickly? The Jiao was a little scared. The ignorant were fearless. Previously, when it saw the Wood King being suppressed by the Land of Rebirth, it was not afraid of the Wood King, even if the Wood King was also a rank 9. But now, the Jiao's big head trembled. It was a little scared. Fortunately, There were two kings of the Forbidden Lands to deal with it. The Jiao was scared, the Beast Kings were angry, the monster plants were hesitant, and the Sky Gate City Lord's eyes were cold. This time it was in trouble. Hopefully, the people from the Forbidden Lands would come as soon as possible. No matter what, it had to get through this first. Seeing that the two Beast Kings were furious and attacking him again, the Sky Gate City Lord did not show any mercy. With a loud roar, the giant axe slashed across the sky and the earth. The entire outer city of Sky Gate City completely collapsed. Chapter 442. In midair, the few rank 9s had already begun to fight with their lives on the line. The fight was intense. The powerful energy waves could be felt clearly from hundreds of miles away. Hope City. Huang Jing had already returned to the city, his face full of worry. They had really started fighting. However, at this moment, he did not know if he was happy or worried. This time entering the catacombs, his mood was like a roller coaster, going up and down. It was exhilarating. Could Fang Ping wash away the suspicion of humans? It did not matter between humans and the catacomb city. Even if Fang Ping killed his way into the catacomb city, that was also his capability. Huang Jing was mainly worried that the monsters would be involved here. Powerful demonic beasts and humans didn't have many opportunities to fight. It was mainly because of the monsters and plants that guarded the monsters. The monsters in places like 100 Beast Forest did not come into contact with humans. If things went wrong this time, it might increase the number of monsters in Magic City's catacombs. He could not say anything about this. If he said it, it might bring some trouble to MCMAU, unless it could be solved properly. The monsters did not involve humans. Just as Huang Jing was worrying, Tian Mu suddenly said, "Old Huang, where are Fang Ping and Qin Fengqin?" Huang Jing said calmly, "They are still training outside." Tian Mu nodded, then said, "These two kids should not run around. Now that the situation in the catacombs has changed, no one knows if there will be a big battle next." Sigh. Troubled times. Tian Mu sighed. The white-haired elder fan said solemnly, "Sky Gate City, something is wrong." I can feel it. The Lord of Sky Gate City is fighting with two big beast kings. Elder Fan paused, then said in a low voice, "One against two. How is that possible?" Everyone exclaimed. In many people's eyes, the Lord of Sky Gate City was the weakest rank 9, a piece of trash. Back when he killed Wu Quishan, a rank 9 could not even kill a rank 7. All these years, Elder Fan had fought with him many times. Almost all of them had the upper hand. If not for some scruples and the fact that he could not kill him, he would have killed him long ago. But now, Elder Fan said that the Lord of Sky Gate City was fighting 1 against 2, and 2 beast kings at that. Demonic beast experts were all extremely powerful. In the same realm, if a human expert fought against an opponent, the chances of winning would only be 50-50. As for human powerhouses, they were generally slightly stronger than the catacombs powerhouses. Elder Fan said in a deep voice, "It is indeed 1 against 2, and he is not at a disadvantage." At this moment, Old Man Fan turned his head back. Very soon, a figure shot over. A middle-aged man with a cold expression stood in the air and said in a low voice, "The aura of a divine weapon. The master of Sky Gate City is using a divine weapon." Apart from Elder Fan, everyone bowed slightly when they saw the person who came. Guardian. The person who came was not Wu Chuan, but the Guardian of the West, Zhang Weiyu. Sino Nation's 4 great guardians, the Eastern Guardian and the Northern Guardian, were top-notch powerhouses who ranked 3rd and 4th in Sino Nation. They were among the top 10 in the global rank 9 ranking list, true rank 9 Paragon figures. The 5th was the director of the Department of Investigation, ranked 14th in the world. The 6th was the Guardian of the West, Zhang Weiyu, ranked 18th in the world. Compared to Zhao Xingwu, Zhang Weiyu's ranking was much higher. Zhao Xingwu was ranked 35th in the world. As for Wu Chuan, one of the 4 guardians, he was ranked 98th and was not worth mentioning. Zhang Weiyu was ranked top 20 in the world. Naturally, his ability was not weak. He was much stronger than Old Man Fan. Looking at Sky Gate City in the distance, Zhang Weiyu's expression was calm. This time, he was the only Sino Nation rank 9 who came to help. However, Zhang Weiyu was not afraid. After looking for a while, he said, "It's a divine weapon, and it's not an ordinary divine weapon. It's a rank 9 divine weapon. This guy hit it very well. Interesting. I just want to know, who taught him the method to condense a divine weapon?" At this moment, everyone thought of something. Their expressions changed. Is it unique to him, or do all the catacombs powerhouses have it? Zhang Weiyu said playfully, "Don't be nervous. It might not be our people who have the problem. Actually, we've even taken the initiative to reveal the condensing method in the past few years. I just want to know, is it only known in the 7 southern regions, or is it a method passed down from the restricted areas? If it's unique to him, then it'll be boring. If the restricted areas spread it to the outside world, then it'll be interesting." As soon as he said this, Old Man Fan frowned and said, "You mean, yes. If it's really done by the restricted areas, then there are many secrets hidden in it. Killing monsters and monster plants? Aren't they afraid that the monsters will rebel?" As Zhang Weiyu said this, he suddenly stopped talking about this. He smiled faintly and said, "This is the 7 southern regions' internal strife. It has nothing to do with us. It's not time for a war yet." As soon as he finished speaking, Huang Jing looked a little uneasy. Zhang Weiyu glanced at him. Huang Jing said immediately, "I'm afraid that our Hope City will be affected." Zhang Weiyu said faintly, "Don't worry about these people. If the Paragon Kings don't come out, they can't do anything. If it really affects Hope City, kill a few rank 9s, and then there'll be peace." Zhang Weiyu's words were extremely domineering, but everyone was not completely at ease. The Western Guardian was very strong, but that was one-on-one. Right now, there were so many rank 9s. Even if he could kill the other party, how many could he kill? As if he knew what they were thinking, Zhang Weiyu smiled faintly and said, "Don't panic, everyone. The Southern Minister is already rushing over here. I'll join forces with the Southern Minister. If the Paragon Kings don't come out, don't worry." The Minister of the Department of Investigation Services, Nan Yunyue, was the #1 person below the Paragon Kings in Sino Nation. She was also the only rank 9 female powerhouse who entered the top 10 in Sino Nation. Her ability was slightly stronger than Zhang Weiyu's. With the 2 powerhouses joining forces, although the situation was tense, it was not to the point where they could not fight back. They were not as strong as the Paragon Kings, but both of them were not far from the Paragon Kings. If they joined forces, they could even destroy a few cities easily. Hearing that the Southern Minister was coming, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Although there were only 3 rank 9s, including the Southern Minister, but the 2 strongest rank 9s below the Paragon Kings in Sino Nation were here, so they did not have to be too afraid. Secretly relieved, Huang Jing suddenly thought of something and asked immediately, "Guardian Zhang, does the Skygate City Lord have a divine weapon?" This was a big deal. Yes. Huang Jing's expression changed completely. The Skygate City Lord had a divine weapon, and a rank 9 divine weapon. Old Wu still wanted to hide his ability and break through to rank 9 to kill the other party. Fortunately, the other party exposed himself in advance. Otherwise, if Wu Quishan really went with the intention to kill the other party, without such preparation, he might lose his life. No matter how weak the Skygate City Lord was, he was still a rank 9 for many years. Moreover, was he really weak? Could the other party have been hiding his ability all along? Or was he simply showing up, but not putting in any effort? Now, with the appearance of a rank 9 divine weapon, Huang Jing realized that some things were really beyond his imagination. This time, if it were not for Fang Ping accidentally causing an internal conflict between the 2 parties, MCMU might have suffered a huge loss. At this moment, Huang Jing no longer thought about whether Fang Ping would cause a war between humans and monsters. This matter would cause a commotion. Even if the monsters found out that it was the humans who caused trouble, but the Skygate City Lord had produced a divine weapon, this matter could be explained, and both parties would be entangled. At this time, the monsters might not care about the life and death of a rank 8 monster. Compared to this, The more important thing was that the catacombs' powerhouses were condensing divine weapons. After all, there were 13 city lord powerhouses in the 7 southern territories. If each of them condensed a rank 9 divine weapon, it meant that at least 13 rank 9 monster plants and monsters had to be killed. Compared to this, what did it matter if the humans caused trouble and killed a rank 8 monster? The kings of the Forbidden Lands were more concerned about their own lives. They were rank 9. If there was one, there would be 2. Today, they secretly killed a rank 9. Who knew if it would be them next time? This kid, this time, he really caused a big commotion, Huang Jing murmured in his heart. From the looks of it, this matter was developing in a good direction, forcing the Sky Gate City Lord to reveal his divine weapon. Not only could he prevent Wu Quishan from failing, but he also caused an internal conflict in the catacombs. This was a good thing. Now, the only thing he was worried about was whether Fong Ping could come back alive. Skygate City was in such a state. If he was not careful, he would lose his life. Skygate City. At this moment, both parties were really angry. The 2 monster kings were fighting to the death. The Skygate City Lord's eyes were cold and fierce, fighting with all his might. Monsterwood did not participate in the battle, nor did it continue to search for Fong Ping. Instead, it was guarding the city. The 3 rank 9s were fighting without a care for anything else. If this went on, the city would be destroyed. There were millions of citizens here. Compared to the Wood King, this was Monsterwood's lair. These citizens were also its people. Monsterwood's branches and roots spread out, building a celestiality barrier in the direction of the inner city. Monsterwood itself was also swaying in the void, blocking the aftermath from invading the inner city. It would be fine if the outer city was destroyed, but if the inner city was destroyed, the essence of Monsterwood City would be lost. At this stage, the Jiao was no longer worried about the 2 sides making peace. Ever since the Wood King's divine weapon appeared, the Jiao was both afraid and relieved. At this time, no matter what the Wood King did, the 100 Beast Forest would not let it go. The other Forbidden Lands would not let it go either. While the powerhouses were fighting, the Jiao slowly retreated. The next moment, the Jiao's figure disappeared. After a while, in another direction of Monsterwood City, the Jiao appeared on the ground without a sound. The few martial artists who saw it were horrified. Before they could speak, the Jiao's mentality shocked them to death, turning them into mush. The Wood King was fighting, the silly tree was guarding the city, and the other rank 7 and 8 martial artists were defending the periphery. As a rank 8 venerable, what did it have to fear? The fountain of life was in the silly tree's body. It was not easy to take it, but the life ores the silly tree could not bring them away. Could it? It would swallow the ores first. At this stage, even if the 2 sides sat down to negotiate, it would swallow it. Would the Forbidden Lands make it spit it out? The Jiao entered the city from another direction. Fong Ping, on the other hand, did not dare to move. He hid carefully in the mine tunnel. He wanted to mine some ores too, but at this moment, there were still many martial artists patrolling the mine. Even if the battle outside was earth-shattering, these powerhouses did not leave. Especially after the Monsterwood left, there was still a rank 7 powerhouse guarding this place. This was the foundation of Monsterwood City. Unless it was absolutely necessary, it would not be abandoned. Fong Ping did not dare to show himself, mainly because he was afraid that if he fought, he would cause a big commotion and attract attention. Once the rank 9 powerhouses outside noticed that a big battle had broken out here, they might stop fighting. It was not easy to get both sides to fight. At this time, Fong Ping could not lose the big picture because of a small matter. The energy mine was indeed a small matter at this moment. The death of a few rank 9s was a big deal. Just as Fong Ping was carefully hiding, a slight tremor suddenly came from afar. After a while, Fong Ping's face was blank. This guy, why was it here? Was it not fighting with the people of Skygate City outside the city? Why? Was this demonic beast still a demonic beast or not? It provoked a war between the 2 sides, and in the end, it wandered into the mine leisurely while the few rank 9s outside were still fighting. Fong Ping was stunned to the extreme. In the mine tunnel a distance away, the Jiao did not maintain its golden body. There was no golden light flashing. The gray outer armor made the Jiao less domineering and more wretched. This guy looked around with its big head. Whether it saw people or energy ores, it did not waste any time opening its mouth and swallowing. After swallowing, it was still a little disgusted. At first, it swallowed people directly. Later, it did not swallow people at all. Instead, it swallowed energy. The people it swallowed were also spat out. Obviously, it felt that these people were too dirty or the taste was not delicious. After swallowing for a while, the Jiao continued to walk around the mine tunnel. It had not found the core mining area. However, sensing energy was also a monster's specialty. It had already sensed the location of the core mining area and was walking towards it. As it walked, the Jiao suddenly looked back. In the mine tunnel, Fong Ping hid himself well. Although he had worked with the Jiao a few times and the big guy did not eat him, Fong Ping did not feel that the man and the monster had any tacit understanding. Who knew if he would be swallowed by the Jiao in the next moment? If he could avoid it, it was best not to. The Jiao looked back suspiciously, but did not stay for long. Very quickly, it walked briskly towards another tunnel. Fong Ping waited for it to walk for a while, then came out. His face showed a hint of struggle. Then, he gritted his teeth and went. Maybe this big guy could be his fighter and help him take the blame. The core mining area would definitely have a lot of energy ores, and they would be the high-rank kind. There might even be 100% pure ones. If he could dig some out, then he would really make a killing. Fong Ping followed behind the Jiao cautiously. In front of him, there was a faint vibration from time to time. The Jiao was going for the kill. This guy was a rank 8 monster. Although it had been injured a few times, it had just swallowed a rank 8 monster, so it did not lack imperishable substances. Although it looked miserable, its injuries were almost healed. At this moment, the powerhouses were all outside. The monster trees had all left their roots and were not in the mood to care about it. In the mining area, this guy was almost invincible. The vibration came from time to time. Fong Ping saw a lot of corpses along the way, and he also saw a lot of weapons. The Jiao did not swallow these weapons. It was not interested in them, and it did not have the habit of eating metal. It was not interested in them, but Fong Ping did not care. The Jiao had swallowed all the energy ores. Even the low-ranked ones were not spared. Wherever Fong Ping walked, the energy in the tunnel was wiped clean. This bastard did not leave any for him. Fong Ping kept the weapons, armor, and other miscellaneous items such as metals and the like. These things did not take up much space. When he went back to MCMU, it would be good to set up an exhibition hall. He had collected a lot of middle-rank martial artist medals. Fong Ping had collected a lot recently, at least 100. He, a rank 5, had killed hundreds of middle-rank martial artists. If word got out, it would be a great achievement. Even in the military department, the medals he had accumulated might be enough to reach the rank of general. Fong Ping followed the Jiao to the core mining area. Outside, a few rank 9s were fighting. Outside Skygate City, the Jiao's forest. In the area destroyed by Huang Jing, Qin Fengqing was digging frantically, murmuring, "There must be something. How can a rank 8 monster not have any treasures? No matter how poor it is, it should have left something behind, right?" Yes, he was raiding the Jiao's old home. Just a few dozen li ahead, 3 rank 9s were fighting, the aftershocks almost reaching here. Qin Fengqing did not care, though. He was so weak that they did not want him. He was very concerned about the monster's nest now. It was not easy for him to wait until the Jiao left. If he could not go to Skygate City, it would be a death wish, but the Jiao's forest could come. After digging for a long time, there was nothing. This can't be. Did Fong Ping and old Huang dig it away? That's not right, they didn't dig. Qin Fengqing frowned. Was there such a poor rank 8 monster? He did not believe it. Thinking of this, Qin Fengqing continued digging frantically. If he did not dig now, there would be no more chances in the future. Soon, Qin Fengqing's face lit up, and he grabbed a metal weapon in his hand, murmuring, "There is. I knew it." Although this weapon was not very good, it looked like it was made of C-class alloy, but it was better than nothing. When the Jiao killed people, it would usually not swallow these things. It would just dig a hole and bury the dried corpses together with the miscellaneous items. Qin Fengqing was suddenly motivated, still muttering, raiding 2 rank 8's nests in a day. Who else but me can do it? However, when he thought of Fong Ping, Qin Fengqing's expression turned ugly. The guy had gone to raid a rank 9's nest. Just you wait. I will raid a rank 9's nest sooner or later. Chapter 443. Tianmen City. In the core area of the mining area, the tremors were getting stronger and stronger. The Jiao had already entered the core area and was fighting with the rank 7 powerhouse who had stayed behind. However, a rank 7 powerhouse would not be killed so easily. The person outside had been easily swallowed by the Jiao because the Jiao had fought with him many times before. The Jiao had used its full strength to injure him. In addition, the Lord of Sky Gate City was still around at that time. The other party did not expect the Jiao to swallow him, so he died easily. At this moment, the rank 7 powerhouse guarding the place saw that Jiao had barged into the core zone. How could they be careless? As soon as he saw the Jiao, he unleashed his full strength, causing the ground to shake. The Jiao was a little angry, but also a little anxious. With such a big movement, the silly blockhead could easily sense it. It was too demonic. In a fit of rage, the Jiao's golden horn glowed with a golden radiance. This was not how a rank 8 should fight a rank 7, using imperishable substances to kill a rank 7. Generally, rank 8 would not do such a thing. It was a waste. Even if they could not kill a rank 7, very few rank 8 would do so. But the Jiao didn't care. If it swallowed the ores here, it could easily make up for what it had lost. Besides, it had swallowed the level 8 hedgehog beast before, so it had some imperishable substance to waste. The golden radiance on the golden horn became more and more intense. The Jiao unleashed its full power and used the golden horn to strike the opponent. The mine was narrow to begin with, and the other party was not as strong as the Jiao, so after a few tries he was still knocked down. This collision was going to be a huge problem. As though cutting through tofu, the golden horn pierced through the other party. The imperishable substance on the golden horn continued to condense and burst forth, obliterating the other party's mental energy. Shrill cries could be heard, but the Jiao had no time to stop them. It had no time. Fong Ping, who was outside, sighed. Forget it, I'll help you. Waves after waves of mentality were released by Fong Ping, forming a thick mentality barrier. Although there was already quite a bit of movement, it was better to hide it for as long as possible. As he released his mentality, he began to mine. The Jiao was very efficient in killing. Apart from this 7th-ranked martial artist, the rest were all killed. The middle-ranked metals that Fong Ping had collected had piled up into a small hill in his storage space. This time, I've killed hundreds of middle-ranked monsters and 3 high-ranked monsters, 2 rank 7 commanders. No, I have to add the tens of thousands of people who died in Sky Gate City. What a sin. Fong Ping felt slightly remorseful for himself. These merits, on the side of the humans, belonged to him. In the catacombs, it was definitely Cunning's doing. Fong Ping would not take the blame for it. As soon as he started digging, he caused a huge commotion. The Jiao also noticed him, and there was a dangerous glint in its eyes. Was this chef trying to steal his mine? Fong Ping knew that these beasts were not to be trifled with. He immediately put on a smile and said, King Jiao, I dug them up for you. Look, before I leave later, I'll give them all to you. I won't leave any for you, lest it'll be troublesome for you to absorb them yourself. Can you leave a few low-ranked ones for me? The Jiao glared at him, its golden horn continuing to grind away at the 7th-ranked master's spiritual power. And the silly blockhead seemed to have sensed it. When the Jiao thought of this, it stopped staring at Fong Ping. If the chef dared to take it for himself, it would eat him. Fong Ping's face was plastered with smiles, but his heart was filled with disdain. A demon is a demon. You want to compete with me in terms of intelligence? Do you think that's all I have? Stop joking. Fong Ping continued to dig madly. He dug out 10 pieces. 8 pieces were put into the storage space, and 2 pieces were kept by him. He wanted to keep 9 pieces, but the hole he dug was bigger. Keeping 1 piece was too little. He could not really treat the Jiao like an idiot. The Jiao continued to grind away at the other's mentality. As Fong Ping dug, he said, "King Jiao, when that tree comes later, can you cooperate with me?" The Jiao did not really understand. It stared at him for a while. Fong Ping gestured. "I'll continue to stab you with my sword. You'll pretend to be repelled by Sky Gate City's hidden powerhouse. You'll pretend to be injured by me, and then look for the 2 Beast Kings. Even if their mind is gone, you can say that it has nothing to do with you. You've been seriously injured the moment you came down. As for the energy stones, you can swallow some of them, and I'll help you hide some, just in case someone finds out. As for me, I'll pretend to be Sky Gate City's powerhouse and use a divine weapon to kill you. That will make it seem like we're not on the same side, right? This way, our previous loopholes will be patched up. I'll be Sky Gate City's hidden powerhouse, not a land of rebirth martial artist. You'll also be cleared of suspicion, right?" Fong Ping did not stop moving. He continued to dig. The Jiao was about to grind a rank 7 to death. He did not know if the Jiao understood what Fong Ping meant. Fong Ping guessed that it probably did. Soon, the Jiao's huge head nodded slightly. Obviously, it agreed to this plan. Fong Ping was overjoyed. This was good. In Monster Wood's lair, he had unleashed Monster Wood's aura, repelled the Jiao, and guarded the mine. Fong Ping did not believe that the Jiao was not from Sky Gate City. At this moment, the core mining area that both of them were in had a lot of high-ranked energy stones. They were almost everywhere. Fong Ping definitely could not take all of them. He did not have the time. High-ranked ores were still a little difficult to mine. As for the Jiao, it might not be able to swallow much either. The Monster Woods mentality outside was starting to spill over. If nothing went wrong, it would be here soon. Fong Ping could not bear to blow up this mine. He had kept it for himself. Just because he could not take it away this time did not mean he could not do it again. If he blew it up, that would be really stupid. It would all be gone. He had preserved the mine. This was completely in line with Sky Gate City's interests. Fong Ping thought about this and continued to mine like crazy. The Jiao had finally grinded the rank 7 to death. With a flick of its giant horn, it tossed the corpse aside. Right now, the Jiao did not care about the rank 7's energy. It wanted to swallow the ores. In the next moment, the Jiao opened its mouth wide and began to swallow the energy around it. The rich energy gathered into a river and surged toward it. In the next moment, it swallowed it all. With this swallow, Fong Ping knew that he could not stay here for long. The commotion was a little too big. The mentality barrier was not omnipotent. With such a strong energy wave, it wanted to hide it? Who was it trying to fool? He knew that working with monsters was not a good thing. If he had come alone, he could definitely continue to dig. However, he could not enter the core area if he came alone. A rank 7 powerhouse was enough to kill him. The Jiao swallowed crazily. Fong Ping also dug quickly. At this moment, both man and demon knew that time was tight. They had to get as much as they could before anything else. After a while, Fong Ping suddenly stopped and said quickly, "I can't continue anymore. I think I'm coming back." The Jiao's large eye showed a hint of anxiety. It could also feel that the silly tree was coming back. "Let's do this again next time. King Jiao, cooperate." A short sword appeared in Fong Ping's hand out of thin air. The Jiao did not think much of it. The divine weapons of the land of rebirth martial artists all appeared this way. However, seeing that Fong Ping had drawn his sword, the Jiao's large eyes suddenly stared at the energy ores beside him. Fong Ping cursed silently. "There are ores everywhere. Why are you still staring at this?" However, it was easy to take them away after digging them out. Fong Ping did not waste any time. He threw the wrapped energy ore over to the Jiao. The Jiao swallowed it in one gulp. In the next moment, Fong Ping stabbed it with his sword. A strong monster wood aura exploded. The Jiao had a few experiences. It acted very naturally. Its large head cracked again, allowing the short sword to slash its golden bones. As if complaining that Fong Ping's strength was not enough, the Jiao used its own knife. It picked up the short sword and slashed at the golden bones on its head a few times. Then, it threw the short sword to Fong Ping. The Jiao broke through the ground and flew backward. At the same time, an extremely strong monster with aura exploded from its large head. Roar! The Jiao broke out of the ground and roared at the two beast kings in the sky. There are still powerhouses hiding underground. Run! No! Go to the 100 Beast Forest and find the other beast kings. In the sky, the two beast kings saw the Jiao being sent flying. They did not care why the Jiao had gone to the inner city. In their rage, there was also a deep sense of fear. Now, just the Wood King alone was enough to suppress them. The monster would seem to be extremely angry. If not for the appearance of the Wood King's divine weapon, which made it hesitate, it would have joined forces to attack. Coupled with the hidden powerhouse that was suspected to be of the same origin as the monster wood, they were in danger. Seeing that the monster wood was chasing after the Jiao, as if to silence it, the two beast kings roared. Their bodies expanded instantly. The two beast kings joined forces and unleashed their full strength, instantly repelling the Wood King. The next moment, the two beast kings grabbed the heavily injured and dying Jiao and fled quickly without looking back. The Sky Gate City Lord's expression was uncertain. He did not chase after them, nor did he look at the escaping beast kings. Instead, he looked at the rising auras in the distance. Someone from the restricted area had come. Someone had only just arrived. The two beast kings had probably fled because they had sensed this, which was why they had run away in advance. If nothing went wrong, they would be in big trouble after returning to the 100 Beast Forest. Seeing that the divine wood was still searching underground, its roots digging into the ground, lifting up a lot of soil and causing the ground to collapse, the Sky Gate City Lord suddenly shouted, "Enough!" What was there to look for now? Moreover, were you really looking for someone? Weren't you just trying to cover up, destroy the evidence, and let them leave? Who was the hidden powerhouse? Where did it come from? The other party had actually helped Monsterwood City and defeated the Golden Horn Beast King that wanted to sneak into the mining area. Apart from himself and the Divine Wood, who else would do such a thing? A powerhouse from the Land of Rebirth? What a joke! The powerhouses from the Land of Rebirth could not wait for the mining area to be destroyed by the Golden Horned Beast King. Why would they help Monsterwood City to defeat that fellow? If he had not been sure before, he was now absolutely sure. The person who had arrived was on his side. No, or rather, it was on the Divine Wood's side. What was the Divine Wood trying to do? Apart from himself, the Divine Wood was probably the only one who was concerned about the mining area. In fact, it was even more concerned than he was. This was because these tutelary monster plants were not guarding the city, but the mining area. The Sky Gate City Lord's expression was gloomy, his eyes cold. It did not matter if he lost some mines or lost some citizens, including the death of 2 rank 7s. Although it was heartbreaking, it was nothing. What really made him uneasy was that Monsterwood City seemed to be somewhat out of his control. The Divine Wood was actually cultivating henchmen. Was it to replace his position? Only a rank 9 could be called king. If he was dead, the Divine Wood must cooperate with a rank 9. Otherwise, they would not be able to build a city, and the restricted zone would not recognize them. Was the hidden person a king realm cultivated by the Divine Wood? Too many doubts and too many worries arose in the Sky Gate City Lord's heart. Why exactly? Could it be that he felt that his ability was too low, or that he felt that the loss of obeying the restricted zone and starting a war with the Land of Rebirth was too great? The Sky Gate City Lord's expression was extremely cold. Also, the matter of the divine weapon had been exposed. This was also a big problem. In midair, Monster Wood's branches swayed. It seemed a little angry, constantly whipping the ground, causing the ground to collapse again. The powerful mentality was no longer searching for the thief, but was continuously released toward the Sky Gate City Lord. At this moment, the man and the demon had no intention of continuing to search for the thief, nor did they have the intention of chasing after the 3 monsters. The monsters in Hundred Beast Forest should not be killed if possible. If they really killed the other party, then they would have to start a war with the few major restricted zones. However, both the man and the demon were currently in a state of turmoil. The Skygate City Lord suspected that the Divine Wood had betrayed him, and the Divine Wood was also questioning where the Wood King's divine weapon had come from. In the distance, a few auras were approaching. Just as the man and the demon were maintaining a strange silence, the next moment, a few silhouettes descended from the sky. Lord Wood, who can tell us what exactly happened? At this moment, there were 4 powerhouses with powerful auras hovering in midair. They were no weaker than the Skygate City Lord. In fact, they were even more powerful. The leader of the group shouted coldly. A female powerhouse next to him rebuked angrily. Hundred Beast Forest said that Monsterwood City had attacked and killed their guards, so they came to confront them. Why did a battle break out? How dare you expose the divine weapon? Shut up. The female powerhouse was halfway through her sentence when the middle-aged leader shouted coldly. He turned his head to look at her and said coldly, "What divine weapon?" As soon as the words left his mouth, the female rank 9 suddenly shut up. The middle-aged leader looked at the silent Skygate City Lord and asked coldly, "Why did you attack? And why did you attack the Hundred Beast Forest monsters?" The Skygate City Lord said in a muffled voice, "I didn't know about the attack on Hundred Beast Forest. I attacked because Hundred Beast Forest did not listen to my explanation. They killed the citizens of Monsterwood City, and even killed 2 of our commanders. King Crocodile and King Leo even attacked me with full force. I had no choice but to fight." The middle-aged leader frowned. The female powerhouse next to him shouted again, "Even so, you shouldn't have used your weapon." The Skygate City Lord looked at her coldly and said calmly, "Should I have been killed by Hundred Beast Forest? Monsterwood City has suffered countless casualties over the years. Now, Hundred Beast Forest has wreaked havoc and destroyed the royal city. Is this the restricted area's attitude toward Monsterwood City? For so many years, I have not seen any of the benefits promised by the restricted area. The restricted area will settle this matter. If Hundred Beast Forest comes to Monsterwood City again to cause trouble, I will take my people and leave the 7 southern regions." "How dare you?" The female powerhouse was furious. The Skygate City Lord said coldly, "You are not at the peak yet. You have no right to yell at me." Be ****. My 7 sons have become King Huai's disciples. Are you provoking King Huai? You. Enough. The middle-aged leader shouted coldly, interrupting their conversation. After looking around and seeing Monsterwood, the middle-aged man frowned slightly. According to Hundred Beast Forest, it was Monsterwood from Monsterwood City that attacked their guards. Was it really made of Monsterwood? This time, the Wood King had even exposed his divine weapon, which gave him a headache. If this matter was not handled well, there would be big trouble. Also, there was something strange about this matter from beginning to end. Why did Monsterwood City provoke Hundred Beast Forest for no reason? Could it be that it was really because of the rank 8 monster outside the city? No matter how threatening a monster that had just entered rank 8 was, it was not enough to make Monsterwood City take the risk and attack it halfway out of desperation. This was not the main point. The main point was that after the attack, they actually failed to kill the monster. The monster had escaped and even returned to Hundred Beast Forest to complain. This was simply a disgrace. At this moment, the rank 9 powerhouse who came out of the restricted area also felt a splitting headache. Suppressing the dissatisfaction and annoyance in his heart, the middle-aged leader shouted, "Go! Let's go to the residence of the city lord to explain." The Skygate City Lord did not say much and flew toward the inner city. However, seeing that the inner city was also in a mess, the Skygate City Lord's eyes became even colder. In the inner city, the Hundred Beast Forest was not the main culprit, but the divine tree. More than half of Monsterwood City was destroyed. There were countless casualties. 2 chieftains were also dead. Today, other than him and the divine tree, there was only 1 venerable and 3 chieftains left in Monsterwood City. Among the 13 cities of the 7 southern regions, no city had suffered more losses than Monsterwood City and was weaker. Moreover, they had to face Hope City's martial artists. The Sky Gate City Lord's eyes became more and more gloomy. This matter had to be investigated thoroughly. Was the divine tree still on the same side as him? Just as the people from the restricted area began to think of ways to solve the problem, Fong Ping also popped his head out a few thousand meters away from Sky Gate City. How exciting! Fong Ping shivered. So many rank 9s. In total, there were 8 rank 9s. In this life, he had never seen so many rank 9 powerhouses. This time, he had learned something new. When the Jiao ran away, he began to run outside. Sky Gate City also had an underground drainage channel. Fong Ping dove into the drainage channel and sensed the rank 9 aura in the sky. He was so scared that his heart almost jumped out. What did it mean to dance on the tip of a knife? He was... Luckily, the 100 Beast Forest powerhouse attracted their attention. Fong Ping secretly felt lucky. As for whether he would be found out after this mess, whether he would be exposed or not, it was hard to say. If they really wanted to investigate, there had been incidents of people infiltrating 9 southern regions before. If both sides had exchanged information and reported this matter as a big deal, Fong Ping guessed that they might guess that he was the one who did it. Even if they guessed it, Fong Ping did not think much of it. Both sides were enemies, and it was the kind of grudge of life and death. His main worry was whether it would eventually lead to those wild monsters and plants looking for trouble with humans. If it led to such an outcome, it would be a little troublesome. Whatever, I didn't want this to happen either. It's all the Jiao's doing. Fong Ping suddenly felt that he had been wronged. He really did not want to do this. It was all the Jiao's doing. What could he do? Right? Will I be chased away when I return this time? Fong Ping suddenly thought of a problem. If he returned to Hope City this time, would Hope City chase him away? The possibility was very high. Should he keep it a secret and pretend that he did not know? But if he kept it a secret, his credit would be gone. Today, he killed 5 high ranks, hundreds of middle ranks, tens of thousands of martial artists in the 3 lower ranks, destroyed half of Sky Gate City, and caused internal strife between both sides. Even a rank 9 would not be able to achieve such a great feat, right? If he kept it a secret, then he would be a nameless hero. If he did not, then he would be prepared to be chased away immediately. The powerhouses of Hope City would probably want to smack him to death. I'm planning to stay here for a while longer, Fong Ping sighed in his heart. He had only been here for a day. At this moment, the sky was not even bright yet. It had not even been 24 hours since he came here yesterday. If he was chased away now, how embarrassing would it be? It's all that bastard Qin Fengqing's fault for giving me false information. Fong Ping casually threw the blame to Qin Fengqing. If it were not for this guy's inaccurate information, he would not have caused so much trouble. Also, would he be blacklisted? Fong Ping was a little frightened. Where would he go to mine in the future? At the same time, on the way back to Hope City in the Jiao's forest, Qin Fengqing cursed under his breath. Just 5 lousy weapons. They're all that bastard Fong Ping's. The Jiao's good stuff must have been swallowed by him. After digging for half a day, he had only dug out a few lousy weapons. 3 were equivalent to the strength of a C-class alloy. 1 was D-class, and the only one that was considered strong. The B-class weapon was actually a weapon similar to brass knuckles, pitifully small. Qin Fengqing was about to explode. This rank 8 layer was a bit of a loss for him to plunder. When the Jiao was escaping, its aura reached him, and he almost peed his pants. He had taken such a huge risk, yet the result was so little. It would be strange if he was happy. That kid Fong Ping, he didn't die in Sky Gate City, did he? I haven't split the spoils of my mine yet. Can that guy find the place where the mine was buried? Should I go look around Hedgehog Ridge? Maybe I can find where he's hiding? One after another, thoughts rose in Qin Fengqing's mind. He did not really want to go back to Hope City. If he went back, he might be thrown out. This time, he did not want to either. Qin Fengqing also felt wronged. This was all Fong Ping and the Jiao's fault. He did not do anything. They had agreed to kill rank 7 monsters, but in the end, a rank 8 appeared. Rank 8 was not enough. Then a rank 9 appeared, and a rank 9 was not enough. In the end, so many rank 9 appeared. If this went on, would a top-notch powerhouse appear? I won't be blacklisted, will I? I can't enter Nanjiang's catacombs. If I can't enter Magic City's catacombs too, what should I do? Qin Fengqing looked sad. This was not the scariest thing. The scariest thing was if all the catacombs blacklisted him. How could he survive in the future? At this moment, Qin Fengqing and Feng Ping were very sad, afraid that they would be blacklisted and banned from entering. If it were a middle-rank martial artist, the officials would not allow them to enter the catacombs. Even if they did not say it, they would probably be happy in their hearts. Many middle-ranked martial artists entered the catacombs every year because they had no other choice and were forced to carry out missions. For many people, entering the catacombs was a narrow escape. Chapter 444. The end of the rank 9 battle did not mean that things were over. Of the 2 beast kings that escaped, the giant crocodile took the cunning beast and ran toward 100 Beast Forest, while the lion beast went straight to the 10,000 Ants Desert in the west. It was time for the Forbidden Lands to wake up. The Guardian clans might have completely betrayed them. The catacombs powerhouses were no longer worthy of trust and cooperation. These rank 9 powerhouses rushed with all their might. Not long after, 100 Beast Forest pressure shook the sky. Waves of rank 9 pressure rose, including a large number of rank 7 and 8 monster plants. In the city closest to 100 Beast Forest, 2 waves of rank 9 pressure were like candles in the wind, being suppressed and shrinking. In the west, waves of energy tides also erupted in the 10,000 Ants Desert. Ear-piercing, sharp roars shook the entire catacombs. In the central area, at Mount Imperial Sea, beast roars also sounded and began to respond. At this moment, even in the quiet Forbidden Sea, in the depths of the ocean, there seemed to be demons roaring in response. In Monsterwood City, a few restricted zone powerhouses had just sat down and talked for a while when they sensed these movements. The rank 9 middle-aged leader's expression was frighteningly ugly. Very quickly, he sent one of them back to the restricted zone to report the news. This matter was no longer something he could handle. In the 7 southern territories, the few restricted zones, including Mount Imperial Sea and the Forbidden Sea, there were close to 30 king-level demons. If the anger of these demons could not be quelled, the 7 southern territories might usher in a huge riot. On this day, Magic City's catacombs was in turmoil. The rank 9 pressure had been shaking the heavens and the earth, and it was not withdrawn. Every city was shocked, vigilant, and worried. Even Monster Sunflower City, which was at war with Hope City, hurriedly withdrew the army outside the city. At this point of time where powerhouses roamed freely, once these powerhouses were dissatisfied, the slightest carelessness could easily wipe out countless people. On Hope City's side, the martial artists outside the city had long withdrawn. At this moment, even rank 7 powerhouses operating outside were extremely dangerous. The slightest carelessness could become the fuse of a great war. Hope City, North Gate. This night, Hope City did not sleep. At this moment, 17 or 18 high-rank powerhouses gathered on the city wall of Hope City's North Gate. 3 rank 9s, 5 or 6 rank 8s, and close to 10 rank 7s. Magic City's catacombs were in turmoil. Some of the surrounding powerhouses began to come to help. On the city walls, Nan Yunyue had just arrived. Although she was a woman, her expression was cold and firm. She looked towards the direction of Sky Gate City and said in a hoarse voice, "Prepare to evacuate." Beside him, Zhang Weiyu frowned slightly. Then he nodded and said, "The military and middle and low-ranked martial artists are to be prepared to leave at any time. At this point, a great battle could break out at any time. Even if the other party was not targeting Hope City, Sky Gate City was too close. If there were too many rank 9s and a war broke out, Hope City would not be able to avoid it. High-rank powerhouses were still fine, but if the middle and low ranks were affected, there would definitely be countless casualties. Su Mafu, who was following behind, had a stern expression. He nodded and turned around to instruct the deputy general. At this moment, it was no longer their battlefield. Once a rank 9 battle royale broke out, even he, Su Mafu, was not qualified to participate. He obediently led his men away. A few rank 9s were discussing in low voices. Beside them, Wu Quishan looked at Huang Jing with a profound gaze. Where's my divine weapon? Where were Fong Ping and Qin Fengqing? A rank 9 war had broken out. Where did these two fellows go? Also, the connection between him and the divine weapon was gone. Where's the divine weapon? Huang Jing's expression did not change, or rather, his expression was stiff. In any case, he did not look at Wu Quishan. As MCMU's vice-chancellor, even if Wu Quishan was in closed-door cultivation, he still rushed over when such a huge incident happened in the Magic City catacombs. It was not just him. Lu Polu, who had recovered slightly from his injuries, also rushed over. After Wu Quishan arrived, Huang Jing did not say a word. Wu Quishan was about to explode. The moment he arrived, he felt that something was wrong. He couldn't sense his divine weapon, which meant that it wasn't on Huang Jing. This kind of divine weapon was nurtured by its master for many years, and their minds were connected. Naturally, Wu Quishan would not be able to sense it on the ground, but now that he was beside Huang Jing, there was no reason he could not sense it. At this moment, a few rank 9s were still around. Wu Quishan did not ask. However, the killing intent in his eyes was exceptionally obvious. What had Huang Jing done with Fong Ping and the others? With his divine weapon and the right timing, killing a rank 7 monster should not be a problem. Why did the catacombs erupt into chaos on the first day these fellows came in? Where did the divine weapon go? At this moment, Wu Quishan's heart was full of resentment. Was it lost? Or was it taken away by those two brats? If they took it, what did they do with it? Did the chaos this time have anything to do with these fellows? Seeing that Huang Jing was playing dead, Wu Quishan really wanted to kill this old thing now, then force him to reveal the whereabouts of his divine weapon. Just as Wu Quishan was feeling depressed, Nan Yunyue suddenly opened her mouth, staring ahead, frowning slightly. Are there any martial artists who haven't evacuated from Skygate City? Nan Yunyue had just finished speaking when Zhang Weiyu frowned slightly. How dare they? At this time, there was actually someone who did not return from the rank 9 powerhouse battle that broke out in Skygate City. These two were extremely powerful, and their senses were also very far away. After they talked for a while, Elder Fan, who was beside them, finally sensed it. Suddenly, he could not help but laugh. It's him. That's normal. The two top rank 9 powerhouses could not help but look at him. Why did you know him? Rank 9 powerhouses rarely cared about those middle and low-rank martial artists. MCMAU's Qin Fengqing. Qin Fengqing? Zhang Weiyu did not know too much. He was the guardian of the West, so he did not pay much attention to these things. On the other hand, the heroic Nan Yunyue raised her eyebrows and said, Qin Nan's son? It's him. I've heard of him. He's the guy who often causes chaos among the monsters, Nan Yunyue said casually. As the highest authority in the Department of Investigation Services, she had some understanding of these genius martial artists' information. As for the monsters' chaos, she did not pay much attention to it. Although it was also a monster riot this time, they were all high ranks, including some rank 9s. This was not something that Qin Fengqing could cause. As they chatted, Wu Quishan let out a sigh of relief. Qin Fengqing was back. Since he was back, it meant that they were not the ones who caused the trouble, right? After a while, Wu Quishan also sensed the aura fluctuations from afar. It was indeed Qin Fengqing who had returned. Where was Fong Ping? Wu Quishan did not think too much and continued to wait. After a while, on the city wall, the others also saw Qin Fengqing's figure. In the distance, Qin Fengqing was carrying a bag that was even bigger than his head, running toward them. Qin Fengqing is back. This kid has guts. He's only back now. He's carrying such a big bag again. Where did this kid go this time? Don't tell me he went to raid houses again? It can't be right. Everyone was discussing fervently. On the city wall, Chen Yunxi, who was at the corner, looked around. She did not see Fong Ping and suddenly felt a little uneasy. She jumped off the city wall directly. A few Grandmaster powerhouses beside her turned their heads and glanced at her. They frowned slightly, but no one said anything. Chen Yunxi, who had jumped off the city wall, quickly ran toward Qin Fengqing. After a while, Chen Yunxi blocked Qin Fengqing's way and asked hurriedly, "Senior Qin, where's Fong Ping?" Fong Ping and Qin Fengqing went out together. Now that Qin Fengqing was back, where did Fong Ping go? He didn't come back? Qin Fengqing said. Seeing that Chen Yunxi was about to explode, he hurriedly laughed dryly and said, "It's okay. He's at the back. What's wrong? It's not an all-out war. He's such a big, living person. What could happen to him?" Chen Yunxi said anxiously, "Didn't Fong Ping go out with you, senior?" "Oh, they parted ways on the way back. Is Fong Ping hurt? He's fine, right?" Qin Fengqing felt a headache from the questions. He said unhappily, "I say, Junior Yunxi, aren't you worried about your senior Qin's life? Didn't you come back?" Qin Fengqing's heart was tired. What she said made sense. Forget it. He did not say anything more. He continued carrying his backpack and walked back. Seeing that Chen Yunxi was still not moving, Qin Fengqing said as he walked, "Go back. Don't tell me you still want to look for him? That brat might be roaming around somewhere now. Maybe he's counting ores and forgot the time. How could he remember to come back? Counting ores? Cough, cough. Anyway, that brat must have gotten a lot of benefits." Qin Fengqing guessed casually. Seeing that Chen Yunxi still did not move, he muttered, "Women are so troublesome. You wait for me. I'll go back first." Anyway, he was just outside the city. He was not worried about Chen Yunxi's safety. However, thinking about how no one came to welcome him when he returned, Qin Fengqing was a little disappointed. The tigress did not even come to welcome him. Was she playing hard to get? Or was she heartless? She had no humanity at all. Ignoring Chen Yunxi, Qin Fengqing hurried into the city. He would go back first. When he was in the city, he would take stock of his gains. He could not wait. In the end, just as he reached the bottom of the city wall, before he could even enter the door, Qin Fengqing floated up. The next moment, Wu Quishan grabbed his neck and frowned slightly. "You came back alone?" Qin Fengqing looked helpless. He said dryly, "Fong Ping and I parted ways a long time ago." Fong Ping and Vice-Chancellor Huang left together. "Vice-Chancellor, why are you asking me?" "Vice-Chancellor Huang." Huang Jing continued to maintain his silence. Wu Quishan glared at him. Where did old Devil Huang put his divine weapon? Now that Qin Fengqing did not have it with him, it was very likely that Fong Ping had taken it away. It was related to Fong Ping's ability to hide his aura. The battle in Skygate City, Wu Quishan could not help but have an ominous thought. That brat, did he go to Skygate City? Wu Quishan was still deep in thought when Tian Mu, who was beside him, suddenly laughed. "Kid from the Qin family, what's in your bag? It looks like there's something good in it." Qin Fengqing was instantly alert. He said hurriedly, "It's nothing. Just some waste ores. I brought them back to see if I can forge a few weapons." "Waste ores?" Tian Mu could not help but laugh. He did not ask further. He was a rank 8 powerhouse. Separated by a little energy crystal, he could still sense a lot of things. It was not just waste ores. Who was this brat trying to fool? Would he rob him? Even Tian Mu could sense it, not to mention the rank 9 powerhouses. At this moment, the few of them glanced at Qin Fengqing strangely. This rank 4 brat's gains this time were not small. However, Qin Fengqing did not want to expose himself, so they did not say much. Although there were many things, they were not enough to catch the rank 9's attention. However, for rank 7 and 8, it was considered a big gain. Seeing that everyone did not ask anymore, Qin Fengqing breathed a sigh of relief. If the gains were too big, he could not expose his wealth. He could pretend to be poor at the same time. When Fong Ping came back, he would make a fortune. This fellow was sure that Fong Ping could come back, and he would also have gains. This was nothing. The rank 9 did not go after Fong Ping directly. How could that brat be finished so easily? Huang Jing was worried, but he did not take it seriously. Seeing that everyone did not speak, he did not leave either. He stood behind Huang Jing and waited. As soon as he stood still, someone beside him sneered softly. "Didn't you say you went 100 beast forest? I thought you were great, but you only dug some wasters back?" Qin Fengqing's expression was a little stiff. He said impatiently, "What do you know? Women, long hair, short knowledge. Don't expose your wealth, understand? Yes, I don't know. But every time you come back, aren't you arrogant and domineering? It seems that the rank 9 battle this time has scared you out of your wits." Zhou Qiuyue finally found a chance to take revenge. Right now, she was ridiculing him to the extreme. Qin Fengqing was very arrogant. This fellow was not a low-profile person. Every time he came back with gains, even if it was not that much, he could boast about it more and be more powerful. According to this fellow, every time he went to the catacombs, he would kill countless monsters, confront the high ranks, and walk the high ranks like walking a dog. Yesterday, he vowed to go to 100 Beast Forest, and today he came back just like that? Qin Fengqing snorted. What did she know? I can't be bothered with you. Don't try to get close to me. Zhou Qiuyue's expression was dark. She said impatiently, "Stubborn duck." "I'm stubborn duck?" Qin Fengqing suddenly felt that he should not have kept a low profile. He was actually being looked down upon. It was okay for others to look down on him. Zhou Qiuyue, this tigress, clearly had a crush on him, but still insisted on going against him. What was she trying to do? In the next moment, Qin Fengqing did not say anything. He took out a small cloth bag from his pocket, opened it directly, and shook it to the ground. Everyone turned to look. When they saw the hundreds of medals on the ground, they could not help but raise their eyebrows. Every time Qin Fengqing killed an enemy or picked up a medal, he would keep it and carry it with him. These medals were all his gains in the past few years. At this moment, Qin Fengqing's face was full of pride. He snorted and said, "See? 118 martial arts medals. There are more than 30 middle ranks, and there are even a few rank XXS. In the entire martial arts university, how many fellows have the right to laugh at me? Qin Fengqing, I've killed more middle ranks than you've ever seen." Everyone agreed with the first half of what he said. This guy did have some ability, no matter how he got these medals. However, the second half of what he said made many people slightly speechless. Bragging is not how you brag. It's only 30 middle ranks. You're bragging like it's thousands or tens of thousands. Do you really think that everyone is ignorant? Forget about middle ranks. These people had seen more than 30 high ranks, and even more. Zhou Qiuyue's expression was a little strange. She snorted, but she did not want to lose face. She said, "Who knows how you got it? Some people like to collect this, so it's not impossible to sell it." Yo, you're still arguing with me? Qin Fengqing felt that it was necessary to show off his gains. When did women dare to talk back to men? In the next second, Qin Fengqing slammed his big bag on the ground and opened it directly. At this time, rich energy waves spread, attracting many high ranks to look at the bag. Energy stones, launching fruit, Zing fruit, pulse-clearing grass. 7-leaf, indestructible grass? Someone murmured. Then his expression changed, scurrying over hurriedly and saying, "Qin Fengqing, where did you get the 7-leaf, indestructible grass?" "What?" Qin Fengqing turned his head and took a look. He recognized that the other party was a rank 7 powerhouse guarding the catacombs. As soon as he asked, the other party had already grabbed a golden blade of grass with leaves. Seeing that, Qin Fengqing said hurriedly, "Vice-Chancellor, someone is robbing me." He dared to expose himself here because both vice-chancellors were here. Now this old guy took it without asking. This was robbery. The powerhouse who got the blade of grass had a dark expression on his face. He said angrily, "Don't talk nonsense. A few rank 9s were here. Why would he rob this kid?" However, he was really tempted. At this moment, Wu Quishan also walked over. He stared at the golden blade of grass, then looked at Qin Fengqing strangely. He said lightly, "The indestructible grass will only grow in habitats where golden body powerhouses stay for a long time. This is because this blade of grass can only grow by absorbing the imperishable substance emitted by golden body powerhouses. For rank 7 martial artists, it is quite useful. They can understand some of the mysteries of the imperishable substance in advance. Of course, it also has a very strong healing effect because it has absorbed a lot of imperishable substance. Unless it is a serious injury that cannot be cured. Otherwise, swallowing this indestructible grass can heal most internal and external injuries. As he said that, Wu Quishan said heavily, it only grows in the habitats of golden body martial artists. And for a long time, this kid, what did he do? Qin Fengqing really did not know what this thing was, but his eyes lit up. He asked, Vice-Chancellor, is it valuable? The indestructible grass grows according to its age and the amount of imperishable substance it has absorbed. The number of leaves represents its age and medicinal efficacy. 7-leaf ones are worth at least 1 or 200 million. Qin Fengqing's eyes were almost shining. So valuable? He found this thing in the rank 8 hedgehog beast lair. When he saw the dazzling golden light, he knew it must be something good. He plucked it without hesitation. He did not expect it to be so valuable. Qin Fengqing gulped. Wu Quishan flipped through his big bag again. After a while, he said, You went to rob a rank 8 martial artist? He could not help but think so. Some of the things that Qin Fengqing collected were specialties that only rank 8 could have. This was not something that could be explained by good luck. Qin Fengqing laughed dryly. Then, he said calmly, How can that be? I'm still not a rank 8's match. I just went to the rank 8's home for a walk and brought some things back. Vice-Chancellor, how much are these things worth? Wu Quishan paused. After a while, he said, 1 billion is still worth it. So little? Qin Fengqing was suddenly stunned. Why was it so little? A rank 8's lair was raided. And it was only this little? The principal didn't trick me, right? Qin Fengqing hurriedly calculated. How many energy stones could 1 billion be exchanged for? Could it be liquefied and allow his celestial bridge to mutate? It seemed like it might not be enough. How could that be? At this moment, Zhou Qiue's face was already lifeless. This guy really went to the 100 Beast forest to rob beasts? She was not the only one. Even the 7th and 8th level powerhouses were a little dumbfounded. Where had this guy gone? Going to destroy a rank 8's lair? The 3 rank 9 powerhouses all had strange looks in their eyes. Zhang Weiyu looked at Elder Fan with a relieved expression. No one of you know him. It's not too much to know a rank for kid who destroyed a rank 8's lair. They were stunned, but Qin Fengqing frowned and said, This is too little, isn't it? Headmaster, did you count wrongly? Fong Ping casually got tens of billions. This time, he might even get tens of billions again. Is that all I have? Previously, I was prepared to pretend to be poor, but now I realize I'm really poor. These words pierced his heart. Wu Quishan suddenly felt a throbbing pain in his heart. Are you doing this on purpose? You're only a rank 4, earning more than 1 billion in one go. And you're telling me that's all? Not to mention when he was a rank 4, even now, if he went out for a trip and killed until blood flowed like a river, he might not be able to get so many things. Strong combat strength did not mean big gains. This kid Qin Fengqing, he used to be so poor that he could only use his pants. Since when did his standards become so high? Also, Fong Ping casually got tens of billions. Did he really think that it was easy? Last time in the Nanjiang catacombs, it was also luck and coincidence. How could there be so many good things waiting for him? As he was thinking, Nan Yunyue suddenly frowned and said, There's still someone who hasn't returned? No, that's not right. What's that? The next moment, Zhang Weiyu suddenly leaped into the air and looked into the distance. After a while, he muttered, Don't tell me that this is also someone from MCMAU, that you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.